Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
In the sad history of persecution against Hindus that has been going on for 1,000 years, loud voices echo over the Jewish Holocaust and Armenian genocide, but when anyone raises a voice about 1,000 years, 4.5 million Hindus disappear from Pakistan, 5 million from Bangladesh, 2.5 million during the War of East Pakistan, 3 million starved to death in one of the Bengal famines, the 7th exodus of 600,000 Kashmiri Hindus, and ongoing atrocities against 2 billion living Hindus worldwide today, it is ignored as Hindutva, or even Hindu terrorist ideology. From this it is clear, the only path is real dedication to ahimsa. The spiritual truths of Sanatana Hindu Dharma are the strength and root. The only foundation for a true future of non-violence and powerfulness has to be the proven royal and dharmic past of Vedic traditions. Dharmic kings were neither weak nor were they pushovers, but it has always been the spiritual sciences, the yogic sciences, that transcended violent reactions of searching for an outer world solution. Lasting solutions always come from a purified inner space. This can never be compromised. Not a single country anywhere on this planet of 200 plus recognized nations is allowed to be Hindu. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist is fine, but not a single protected place for 2 billion living Hindus. It means we need more spiritual strength. Running outside to fight and oppose will not center the strength inside. Hindu devotees from around the world have banded together to petition local authorities, embassies, government, and human rights organizations to wake up the international community to the Hindu Holocaust, supported by an anti-Hindu ecosystem strongly rooted in India today. The borderless and world's only Hindu nation of Sri Kailasa began organizing various human rights organizations to awaken international support for terrorized Hindus living inside India. The borderless nation has also been running 3 shifts of around-the-clock outreach and healing both online and on the ground around the world for the past few months since COVID-19 intensified the need for increased support of all communities around the world. After more than a week now since 2 Mahants of Juna Akara, Kalpa Vriksha Giri Maharaj and Sushil Giri Maharaj were brutally beaten and murdered on camera, along with organizer Nilesh Telgad in Palghar, details have come to light of the political underpinnings and nature of the attacks as an organized crime attack by several well-known groups in the area. Various parties have long been well known to be active in crimes in the area, whose leaders were also seen on site the night of the murders. As cruel as it may seem, the sources of the murders are actually quite well known. Even across all major public media platforms, it just was never reported. These crimes are common and well known. Those giving orders are very well known and clearly identified. It is shockingly very usual.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, I offer my humble obeisance, my pranam to the divine lotus feet of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. I welcome all of the viewers gathered on this auspicious day, the 1st of May, 2020. It is so nice to see every single day across the world, whether you are in the Eastern time zone or the Western time zone. In each of us, there is a natural alarm clock which sounds every single day without fail every time this time comes. If we see it is 6:30, 7:30 in the Indian Standard Time or 6:30 in Pacific Standard Time, suddenly an alarm goes off inside of us, a rush of excitement, where we start to know that His Divine Holiness is coming, and we are going to have the darshan of Paramashiva, the most awaited time of the day for millions of people all over the world. Every single day, His Divine Holiness addresses the 2 billion Hindus all over the world and leads us to a super conscious breakthrough, day by day by day, giving transformation to one person at a time. His Divine Holiness, in the last week, since the Palghar mob lynching, has addressed the 2 billion Hindus all over the world to stop the Hindu Holocaust. In this topic, he has encouraged, woken up Hindus across the world to the realities of the dangers of Hinduism being completely abolished, being completely destroyed from planet Earth itself. And if Hinduism, the most life-positive force, the most life-positive organization on planet Earth, is being attacked and gets destroyed, then that is the destruction of humanity itself. Through the work of His Divine Holiness, continuously, day in and day out, he has continuously contributed to the entire world, reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma, so that it can serve humanity with the great science of enlightenment from our ancient rishis, from Bhagavan Paramashiva himself, and be protected and last forever. I encourage all of the viewers, now, if you're watching, let us share this message. Let us spread the message from Sri Kailasa every single day. If you feel that His Divine Holiness is coming for you, if you understand that He has nothing to bound Him to planet Earth, just with a decision, He can not address us, He can not come for Satsang, He can say, play the replay, play the morning Satsang, but every day He has been out failed. In the last 2 months, His Divine has been continuously available, even though so many attacks against His life have happened, have been executed. He has made Himself continuously available through the public, through Zoom, two-way video conferencing, and not only that, just with video conferencing, initiation is happening. People are manifesting the very being of Paramashiva. So without further ado, I encourage you all to share this satsang. Let us spread the word. Let us share the Kailasa with the whole world, so that what His Divine Holiness is contributing continuously reaches every single being on planet Earth. With this, let us now understand, remember, recall with such loving emotions and reverence to His Divine Holiness the Satsang today. He addressed us all and initiated us once again.
Nithyanandam, thank you one and all. Yesterday, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, blessed all of us with the most sweetest yet powerful cognitions. If we go into the details, fundamentally, Hinduism is a science of invoking the cosmic beings in us. That is why, before even we start developing the primal OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, we start developing before the age of 7, which is the root pattern, being driven by fear and greed. If we see in our Hindu lifestyle, All the major initiations happen before the age of 7. That is where when we get introduced to the divine itself. All human beings, being other than who are initiated before the age of 7 and started manifesting their Ishta Devata. Everyone else is suffering with OCD. Society, unconscious humanity, politicians, everyone wants us to behave and have this OCD so we can be exploited. The idea that money is securing for our future, the idea of insurance, the Indian retirement insurance, all this is the obsessive compulsive disorder. All this is OCD. When we are forced to believe the OCD is the core of our being, and various stupid ideas which are kept within us made to believe, and those ideas start developing obsessive compulsiveness in us. In the beginning of if we see, we are brainwashed by the society and mass media cult that money is the only security for our future. Once when we start getting the brainwashed like this, the OCD starts in every level of our life. If we feel money is the only thing in our life, then all the beliefs throughout the whole thought current related to money and to the actions we perform because of this OCD, everything put together is what? A big delusion. Is nothing but the whole life is a delusion. People who's brainwashing us, the methodology they use is brainwashing us, and how we can start getting brainwashed in the initial level, and after some time, even if we know or don't know, even if we have enough money or not, we don't stop working for money because it has become an obsessive compulsive disorder in us. By then, our whole life is empty. Actually, if we see, Corona has taught a big lesson to the whole humanity, that money is not a security for our future. If we see, every human being, the rich consciousness is the most powerful security. If we can manifest a power, if we can just live blissfully in an unclutched way, if we can just radiate consciousness in us and in the people around us, that is the most powerful and important security with us. Let us get initiated and start manifesting the cosmic being in our identity. Understand, Paramashiva exists. He is living being, alive, who can respond to us whenever we call. When we invoke Paramashiva in us, it is only two things. One is initiation, and the second is our conscious will persistence, asking him to manifest in us. When we invoke Paramashiva in us, the fear-based OCDs become irrelevant. Whether it is a job or to earn, anything it may be, whatever the work we are doing, whatever the job we are doing, the only thing, if we just pray to Paramashiva to manifest within us, he is just within us. He is just there to manifest within us. When we invoke him, all the fear-based, whatever the patterns which we are going through, whatever the patterns which is making us run throughout our life, everything will get disappear. Hinduism is being who invokes cosmic beings in our identity. Our Ishta Devata becomes our core existence. The moment when we wake up, Ishta Devata is the one who runs our whole life. Hinduism gives a beautiful choices. We can connect to anybody, whether it is Ganesha or Shiva or Devi or Shakti or Subramanya, whoever it may be. We have a wide varieties of gods and goddesses available. The moment when we invoke, they are just present to directly guide us. Guru is the one who introduces the divine to us. Guru can choose for us, but the moment when we come up with the Ishta Devata, Guru himself will give the higher cognitions about our Ishta Devata. If we invoke the Ishta Devata in our identity, morning when we wake up, it should be a beautiful Ishta Devata inspired decision. It cannot be a OCD anymore. When we react based upon OCD, we feel stuck, suffocated. We don't know how to do. We don't know how to move further in our life. We don't know what to do. And finally, we end up in depression, living dead or suicide itself, or waiting to die. For all the problems, the present humanity, whatever is facing, the whole human life, the source is this OCD. When we start developing before the age of 7, that is why in Hindu tradition, as early as possible, the child should be initiated and the child should start manifesting the Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata mantra. Ishta Devata manifesting in our own being. In the morning, when we become aware of this whole world, means when we understand that we exist in the body, at that time itself, when we first introduce the Ishta Devata, then the whole cognition, the way we perceive about the life, then the way we act, the way we take the whole life itself will become so sweet and having the cognition of our higher consciousness. If that one initiation and connection happens between the individual and the Guru, for sure individuals will become enlightened. It may be today or tomorrow or day after, but definitely the enlightenment is for sure. All of us who trust Swamiji will not lie to us how much we are alive in our own body. That frequency, Paramashiva, is living being, cosmic being. He can manifest in our identity. That moment when we invoke him, connect with him, and all our lifestyle can be moved away from this OCD and it will become Ishta Devata manifesting within us. All our decisions, and it is whether it is a good or bad or success, take everything to Paramashiva and cry only to Paramashiva. Cry out to him. If we want to show your gratitude, if we want to show everything to Paramashiva, he is just there to manifest within us. When we understand there is no death for us, when we understand we just live as long as we want and we just change bodies, it is not that we will not have money or bank balance. We will have all that, but we will not be having a fear-based lifestyle as a OCD. Let us not do anything out of OCD. The moment when we cognize things based upon OCD, the entire life, the very thought current, the very life current itself will become OCD. Whether it may be earning or savings or paying our bills, whatever it may be, nothing should be done due to OCD. Everything should be out of IID. This shift can happen when the initiation happens and the connection with your Ishta Devata, constantly talking to our Ishta Devata. When it happens, the whole relationship, when the whole relationship happens, the whole life, the very cognition with which we live, the whole life will become based on Ishta Devata. Sometimes when we ask Paramashiva, might not be coming, it might not happen as early as possible, but if we just come in terms with him, saying, okay, at this point of time I did not get it, but I don't know why it is, let it be. But our relationship should not get disturbed just because of few things. If we have that understanding with our Ishta Devata, anything and everything happens in our life will be so beautiful. The very understanding about our life will be very deep. Move away, let us all move away from OCD to Ishta Devata inspired decision, which is IID, Ishta Devata inspired decision. If we understood this one point, if we internalize, we will understand it is because we are constantly functioning with OCD. We are so pained about our own existence in life. We are so frustrated about everything which is happening around us. That is about our existence and life. It is so frustrated even to realize that we are living in this body. If we run with this OCD, everything will become a painful experience. The moment when we shift from OCD to IID, Ishta Devata inspired decision, everything in our life, the way we cognize, the way we function, everything will be such a joy. It's a space of joy and bliss. Every day, the moment when you wake up, the moment when you think of your Ishta Devata, you are running with Ishta Devata's inspired decision. The whole life will be so joyful. So, the essence of the satsang is moving from OCD to IID, obsessive compulsive disorder, to Ishta Devata's Ishta Devata's inspired decision. So, Swamiji has suggested all of us to watch this satsang again and again so that we will actually understand what kind of thought current one should have to even live a blissful, beautiful, smooth, sweet life. Invoking those cosmic beings in us and how we should run, how we should have a relationship with our own Ishta Devata to have this beautiful lifestyle. So with this, Swamiji has blessed us for Swamiji has blessed us, and he'll be here soon with more and more powerful cognitions through today's satsang.
Yes. His divine Holiness gave us this powerful, ultimate understanding of Ishtadeva inspired decision. Divine continue every single of Chitta as well to worship Madurai Meenakshi during this auspicious time. Beautiful when Madurai Meenakshi, her energy is Devi Parashakti. Completing for the technical issues on our side. As was told, His Divine Holiness gave us this beautiful gift, this understanding of Ishtadevata inspired decision to follow as per the incarnation, as per your Guru and how he lives, rather than falling to the trap of the obsessive compulsive disorder of our fears and powerlessness. At this time as well, during this Chitra Brahmotsavam, His Divine Holiness has been continuously every single day giving us an opportunity to worship and revere Meenakshi. In fact, in the Nithyananda Paramashiva Devalaya, every single day, the offering is going, at least of the Shodashopachara Puja, and the Naivedyam is offered every single morning during the Satsang, along with His Divine Holiness. We all get the opportunity to offer our reverence, devotion, utmost love to Madurai Meenakshi during this time. The Chitra Brahmotsavam is actually a beautiful cosmic happening. The happening of Madurai Meenakshi is in fact a cosmic happening, a prehistoric happening, which is not recorded by our modern day history. Meenakshi has graced planet Earth as an incarnation of Devi Parashakti, and she was the one who formed what we know today as Hinduism. If we are able to practice Hinduism, if we're able to understand Hinduism today, it is because of Madurai Meenakshi. Only a person who has understood Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the science of enlightenment directly from Paramashiva himself, and has experienced oneness with him entirely, will even be able to then go revive it in any place, especially in such a grand scale that she did. Meenakshi was the reviver of the enlightened civilization, the Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam, in a prehistoric time. She was the very first matriarch of the Akhanda Bharat, from Pakistan to Cambodia in the south. The entire nation, the Hindu nation, spanned across this entire Indian subcontinent and more. It was a large area, the largest area when Hinduism prevailed. Now, unfortunately, there is not one nation for Hinduism and for the revival of Hinduism and for protecting Hinduism from outside forces. Nepal was the last Hindu nation that was there, but now even Nepal has declared secularism as the nation's religion, leaving Hinduism completely orphaned without any kind of protection at all. And understand, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, all these religions, these major religions of the world, have institutions to protect them, including the government, including the religious organizations. They have at least this level of legitimacy that protects them from any kind of harm, from being completely disbanded and obliterated from history. But Hinduism does not even have that. What was once Akhanda Bharat, the entire Hindu nation, the Hindu civilization, is now really just hanging on for survival. That is where His Divine Holiness, the grand advent of Paramashiva himself, once again on planet Earth, has come down in order to revive Sri Kailasa. Just as Madurai Meenakshi, Parashakti, had conquered the 8 directions, brought all under one rule, and revived the enlightened civilization, His Divine Holiness is doing the very same, creating a Hindu nation, creating a place, an institution which will protect Hinduism from being destroyed further. It is the most exciting happening, the forefront of Hinduism. And if you are Hindu and you understand Hindu values and you understand that it's being attacked and it is in danger, you will understand the great thing that His Divine Holiness, the absolutely ultimate way of protection and ambition that His Divine Holiness is taking Hinduism today. Unlike any other leader in the world, he has declared the creation of a Hindu nation, protecting Hindus from further genocide. It is so important that we establish this nation of Sri Kailasa, not just for Hindus, but also for humanity as well. Hinduism, as the most life-positive organization, most life-positive lifestyle, is what humanity needs in order to survive through the worst period in human history where there are so many billion people on planet Earth, but we are headed for complete disaster. I encourage all of you, if you understand the need of Sri Kailasa, spread this satsang. Share it with your family, friends, share it on social media, in different Facebook groups, in different pages, in different entities, so that the message of Sri Kailasa can be heard far and wide, and every being on planet Earth understands the possibility of a super conscious breakthrough. After Madurai Meenakshi had established the enlightened civilization, that entire Vaigai Valley, the entire civilization, and Madurai that had an epicenter in Madurai, after a few thousands of years, after which Meenakshi Sundareshwara had left the body and their son Samadhis were in the Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, so many different invasions, brutalities occurred against Hinduism, against the Madurai city, and against the temple. And the Shamana Pita Sarvajna Pitam, which was established there, such that once again there was no protector of Hinduism, there was no protector of the heritage of the Madurai Adinam, the Shamana Pita Sarvajna Pitam. It was at that time the great incarnation of Paramashiva, Tirujnana Sambandar, had happened on planet Earth. Tirujnana Sambandar is a great incarnation of Paramashiva, recognized by Hinduism as an incarnation, a descent in the form of Paramashiva himself, where Paramashiva decided to come down and protect Hinduism once again in the form of Tirujnana Sambandar. The great story of Tirujnana Sambandar is actually sung about so much in our Hindu history. So much of history of devotion in Hinduism is centralized, is revived, and is owed to Tirujnana Sambandar. So many songs, beautiful melodies and lyrics, which just make the soul pour, the soul melt, and the eyes pour from the amount of devotion that they make you feel. His Divine Holiness has even recognized, understood Tirujnana Sambandar as the reviver of Shamala Pita Sarvajna Pitam. He himself reveres him so much, worships him so much, and sings the songs that were written by Tirujnana Sambandar. His very story is such a sweet remembrance of Paramashiva, an inspiration for how to live powerfully in complete devotion to Paramashiva. And in fact, His Divine Holiness has even revealed that along with the biomemory of Madurai Meenakshi Parashakti inside of him, he has even come down with the biomemory of Tirujnana Sambandar. Means that Tirujnana Sambandar, the great incarnation who revived Shamala Pita Sarvajna Pitam, had the biomemory of him, his devotion, and his ultimate beautiful devotion for Meenakshi Parashakti. This aspect of Tirujnana Sambandar, his biomemory, is revived in His Divine Holiness as well. Yesterday even we understood what biomemory really means. When an incarnation decides to descend on planet Earth, when Paramashiva decides to descend on planet Earth. In order to fulfill the mission that he has, he takes certain biomemory. He takes certain energy of different incarnations in order to fulfill the mission that he has at hand. And of course, Madurai Meenakshi is absolutely pivotal in the mission that His Divine Holiness has come down with. And same with Tirujnana Sambandar as a reviver of the Shamala Pita Sarvagna Pitam. There are so many parallels also if you see the life of Tirujnana Sambandar and the life of His Divine Holiness as well. In fact, let us watch a brief clipping just to get to know Tirujnana Sambandar's life. In this clipping, you're seeing a movie representation of the great saint's life. In this, it is a Tamil clipping, and in this movie, the young Tirujnana Sambandar is crying and crying for his mother, out of deep pain and suffering. He's just a 3-year-old at this time. The story goes that as an answer to his calls, Devi Parashakti, Meenakshi herself, comes down and feeds her own milk to Tirujnana Sambandar, and in that way, through the milk, she just blesses him with the enlightenment experience. And her very essence, the essence of consciousness, is transmitted to Tirujnana Sambandar. And he is then, after which he is then completely enlightened. That is why people refer to him as a child incarnation. Let's just watch this representation of Tirujnana Sambandar's life first.
நானும் வருகிறேன். வேண்டாம், நானும் தான் வருவேன். தெய்வத்தை நான் பார்க்க வேண்டாமா? ஏதோ உங்கள் பிள்ளை ஆசைப்படுகிறார், அழைத்துக் கொண்டு போய் வாருங்களேன். உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும் சித்ரா உற்சவத்தின் பலன் அவனுக்கும் கிடைக்கட்டுமே.
உன் பிள்ளைக்கு கிடைக்கும் புண்ணியத்தை நான் தடுக்கவில்லை அம்மா, அழைத்துக் கொண்டு போகிறேன். சம்பந்தா, வா. சம்பந்தா, நீ இங்கேயே உட்கார்ந்துரு, நான் போய் குளித்து விட்டு வருகிறேன்.
சரியப்பா.
நல்ல பிள்ளை.
Here you are seeing the child incarnation Tirujnana Sambandar crying out for his father out of deep pain and suffering. And his cries reach Paramashiva himself in Shivaloka. Now, Devi Parashakti has descended and giving darshan to Tirujnana Sambandar, feeding him the Jnanapal, the enlightening milk. It is after this, his father finds him again and asks him where he went. Whom did he meet? What happened? Who fed this milk? And he's asking and scolding the young child. And Tirujnana Sambandar is absolutely unperturbed, never powerless. Then he starts to sing the very famous song Todudaya Seviyan, out of utmost devotion for Paramashiva and Parashakti, which is a song that is today celebrated and sung as a classic from Sanatana Hindu Dharma. When his father hears these lyrics coming from him, he realizes that he has such a great transformation, that he is no longer just a young boy, but he is Paramashiva himself. Just with his song, he is attracting so many people around him. Because that power of the enlightenment experience, that power of the pure grace and pure consciousness expressing through him, starts attracting so many people. And that is how the revival of Shamalapita Sarvajnapitam actually happened. Yes, as you saw, this is exactly the beautiful experience of Tirujnana Sambandar, the great Puranic story which occurred around 1500 years ago. Tirujnana Sambandar then grew up and started the revival of Shamalapita Sarvajnapitam once again. And not only that, he actually had made the largest mass-scale enlightenment experience happen on planet Earth. Until now, that many people becoming enlightened at once is actually not even heard of, other than with His Divine Holiness. So many thousands of people becoming enlightened at once and merging with the cosmic consciousness. The only recorded event in the Puranas is when Tirujnana Sambandar himself led thousands of people into a huge cosmic breakthrough and led people into merging with the cosmic consciousness. His Divine Holiness has explained how Tirujnana Sambandar is really not just a Swami, he is not a saint, he's not any kind of ascetic. He is another level of incarnation itself. In fact, with Meenakshi Parashakti and Sundareshwara Paramashiva, they never incarnated, they never took form inside another body and came down into another body. Meenakshi Parashakti and Sundareshwara Paramashiva simply manifested as their own body and assumed that level in the whole Purana. Explained that even Tirujnana Sambandar himself had never disconnected from the cosmic consciousness. The cosmic consciousness being that ultimate supreme Paramashiva himself. That is why Tirujnana Sambandar had an enlightenment experience, such a beautiful experience at the age of 3, where His Divine Holiness explains that the individual consciousness at that point, the cosmic consciousness, when the Pratyagharta Chaitanya Jagrata means the supreme consciousness becoming an individual consciousness, when this process happens, the body, that individual consciousness never suffered. Tirujnana Sambandar never suffered at all. The experience that he had when he was 3 years old, when he cried to Devi Parashakti out of extreme suffering, is the realization that there's a possibility, there's even a 1% possibility that he may have an individual consciousness, that he might separate from the individual consciousness. When he started crying like this, then that is when Devi Parashakti herself manifested, and Tirujnana Sambandar had that enlightenment experience, which they say is Devi Parashakti manifesting and giving him that enlightenment experience. Because at that moment itself, at 3 years old, he himself had realized the enlightenment experience and was completely blessed by Devi Parashakti. And after which he, with the complete awareness that he is an incarnation of Paramashiva, lived on planet Earth. In fact, the same way His Divine Holiness has descended on planet Earth, never he had disconnected with the cosmic consciousness. Never there was a moment in his life when he was not an incarnation, was not realized. Since his birth, since his happening, even as he was happening, he understood he is from the same source, where he is an incarnation, and he understood he is here for a mission. At the age of 3, His Divine Holiness also had a beautiful spiritual experience. And he had that experience itself had unfolded into his entire life and started off his spiritual journey, his breakthrough after breakthrough, manifesting Paramashiva inside of his body more and more intensely. Just as Tirujnana Sambandar had an enlightenment experience when he was 3 years old, when Devi Parashakti herself had manifested as in her body and manifested for Tirujnana Sambandar and enlightened him. In the life of His Divine Holiness, at the age of 3, Ganesha manifested and ate the Naivedyam which His Divine Holiness offered to him. Let us just watch a brief video where His Divine Holiness himself is describing the Madurai Adinam and the happening of Tirujnana Sambandar.
Jnanapal, when cosmos poured her essence into the Tirujnana Sambandar, he became enlightened. And in the gratitude and ecstasy, samadhi, the extraordinary sacred sentiments started expressing from him. Please understand, there is no intellectual philosophy in Jnana Sambandar's writings. It is all just expression of sacred sentiments out of gratitude. So I tell you, devotion and gratitude is the central philosophy of Madurai Adinam. I was studying line by line, word by word, all available writings of Tirujnana Sambandar, a reviver of Madurai Adinam. I could not find a single word mentioning about the Advaita philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, or Siddhanta, Saiva Siddhanta philosophy. The only word I found in Jnana Sambandar's writings about the philosophy he wants to spread, he wants to stand for, he wants to represent. The word I found is Vedaneri, Vedic tradition. Ulagamelam Vedaneri Tadaitonga. That is the only statement I could find from Tirujnana Sambandar's original writings. That is the reason I am telling you, Madurai Adinam belongs to Vedic tradition, which is the source, mother of all traditions. Shaivism, Vedanta, Shaiva Siddhanta, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, and modern day Hinduism. All the traditions belong to Vedic tradition, which is philosophy of Madurai Adinam. Madurai Adinam has its own unique place in preserving, protecting, promoting Vedic tradition. I wanted the whole world to know I have accepted Madurai Adinam to revive Vedic tradition. Understand, there was no contradiction between Nithyananda Dhyanapitham and Madurai Adinam's philosophy. They were only complementing each other. They were not contradicting each other. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham and Madurai Adinam's philosophy was not contradicting each other. They were complementing each other. We may wonder, why then Tirujnana Sambandar killed thousands of Jain Munis? Please understand, he neither killed nor ordered the king to kill them. They themselves felt the deep guilt and shyness and felt their ego. They lost their ego. They lost their face. They don't want to live anymore and they committed suicide. But whoever wanted to live, all of them were blessed and initiated by Tirujnana Sambandar and accepted into the fold of Tirujnana Sambandar. So, please understand, those few Jain Munis have become very egoistic and arrogant, thinking only they know, without having experience, just with the words, they started thinking that they know everything. And even at that time, Jnana Sambandar was one young chap, and all these guys are established, old, many. Cotton bags may be billion or millions, but one matchstick is enough.
In fact, in His Divine Holiness's own life, he has been recognized by the civilization of Madurai, not only by countless Hindu gurus, the devotees, but even by the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam as the avatar of Tirunjana Sambandar. The 292nd Guru Mahasannidhana of the Shamala Pita Sarvagna Pitam had declared upon the coronation of His Divine Holiness as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam, he had at that point told the world, addressed a global audience all over the world, declaring that that His Divine Holiness is the avatar of Tirujnana Sambandar, showing that it is not just devotees, people who are so devoted to him and love him, that have recognized His Divine Holiness as God, an incarnation of Tirujnana Sambandar, expressing the biomemory of Tirujnana Sambandar, but esteemed saints and religious authorities of Hinduism have declared him as the incarnation of Tirujnana Sambandar. Let's just witness that clip where the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam is telling the whole world, addressing the whole world and expressing that His Divine Holiness is the avatar of Tirujnana Sambandar.
We are very glad and proud that we were finding out a successor should be appointed for a long time. But as far as Madurai Adinam is concerned, the 291st Guru Mahasannidhanam, the 290th Guru Mahasannidhanam, the 289th Guru Mahasannidhanam, all were genius and sages and saints. Therefore, we thought we had a great mind that our successor should be a genius and a saint and saint. So according to the great grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi, God has given a very powerful, youngest youth and a vital person for my successor. It is a noble gift of Lord Shiva. The Tirujnana Sambandar Swami Adinam is the very, very oldest and ancient mutt in India, which was established in the 6th century by Saint Tirujnana Sambandar of Sirihari, Tanjavur district in Tamil Nadu. He was not only propagating the Saiva religion, he was not only propagating the Saiva Siddhanta philosophy, he not only sang 4,000 odd Devaram songs, but also he was striving for the upliftment of the downtrodden people, and he was propagating the praise of Tamil language. He ordered the people to call him as only Tamiljnana Sambandar, Chandamil Vallayana Sambandar, Nattamil Vallayana Sambandar, Arumari Valla Muniyagayana Sambandar, Nattamil Viragan, Vilayudaya Arundamil Sambandan, and so on. Many people, many genius people are our disciples of Madurai Adinam. For example, Badalur Vallal Ramaliki Adigal, who visited our Adinam several times. And he wrote 3 pages songs about the praise of the Madurai Adinam. He was blessed by the 288 Guru Mahasaridanam Sri Swaminatha Sri Jnana Sambandha Sri Brahmacharya Swami. And the Bhaskara Sathipati of Ramnad Samasana was a disciple, and he constructed a bungalow for the stay of Guru Mahasaridanam in the Madurai Adinam upstairs. And then the Pasumbar Muthuramalika Devar also, our disciple, he was given a honor that Sarmarka Sanda Maranam by our Guru, 291st Guru Mahasaridanam. And the Panditore Kavar, the founder of 4th Tamil Sangam in Madurai, and the king of Thurayur, Veera Martanda Mannan, Dudley, a Governor General of London, was our disciple. And so many people, the Professor Mananmani and Siddharanar also are our disciple. Not only that, the Mananmani and Siddharanar, the professor of a college, who came to our Adinam and wrote a book entitled as The Age of Tirunjana Sambandha. In that book he mentioned that Tirunjana Sambandha of Sirgadi, Tanjavur district, is not only the founder of this mutt. He is not only the one of the Saiva Sabaya Nayanamars. He is not only the popular leader of Tamil Nadu, but also the champion of social equality, who expelled the untouchability even in the 6th century. Therefore, our 293rd Guru Mahasaridanam, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivoham, is also a deep, not only the deepest disciple of Saint Tirunjana Sambandha. Not only that, he may be called as the avatar of Tirunjana Sambandha. The 292nd Guru Mahasaridanam and the 293rd Guru Mahasaridanam are all ambassadors to the Almighty Lord Shiva. Appointed by the eternal government. Appointed by the eternal government. That is Lord Shiva's government. There is no any tenure of period. Up to the end of our life, we will be the ambassadors. That's the most important one. So according to the Saiva Siddhanta philosophy, according to the Hindu religion, we have come to this earthly world
Nithyanandam. We welcome to Shyamala Pita Sarvanya Pitam, the founder, the very Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam himself actually ordained each one of us to have this experience to each one of us. So now, on this special occasion, on the Chitrai Brahmotsavam celebration, here with the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, we celebrate the Chitrai Brahmotsavam festival every day in our SSJP Madurai. So here, I like to tell about the contributions of Madurai Adinam. Actually, on April 29th, 2012, our Swamiji, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, coronated as 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Madurai Adinam. After assuming the responsibility of Guru Maha Sannidhanam, Swamiji actually in a full speed way, he started all the social service activities, and he personally conducted all the spiritual responsibilities according to the customs and practice of Madurai Adinam. So we all were there along with Swamiji, and there are thousands of our devotees gathered there to do volunteer service along with our Swamiji and all our sannyasis. Today, I invite one of our devotee. He was done an amazing volunteer service in Madurai when Swamiji was coronated as the 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Madurai Adinam. So I invite Sri Javagar Babu Ayya from Vaniyambadi. Nithyanandam Ayya. He is a devotee of Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Ayya Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam.
I invite you to all our Nithyananda TV viewers. Nithyanandam Ayya. Ayya, we all had a wonderful time actually on 2012 during the Madurai Adinam activities along with our Swamiji, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So you all there physically along with Swamiji and done amazing volunteer services to our Madurai Adinam. Here I want you to share about what are all the service activities we contributed in the Madurai Adinam. As a volunteer, you can also share your own personal experience, how Swamiji was active and alive and energetic, bubbling during those days, and he was ordained as an 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam. Literally, he revived the Shyamala Sarvanya Pitam in a biggest way as all expected to be. Javagar Babu Ayya, you can also share your experience in Tamil. I am here to translate in English, Ayya. Nithyanandam Ayya.
மதுரை ஆதீனம் பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் ஒரு பாரம்பரிய மடமா இருந்தா கூட ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயத்தை நான் இந்த நேரத்தில் சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கேன். வரலாற்றில் சில உண்மைகள் மறைக்கப்படுகின்றன. அந்த உண்மையை இன்னைக்கு சொல்வதற்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. அதற்காக பரமசிவத்துக்கு முதலில் நன்றியை தெரிவிக்கிறேன். என்ன விஷயம் என்று சொன்னா, 1000 ஆண்டுகள் பழமையான மடம் என்பது பெருசல்ல. அந்த மடம் உயிரோட்டத்தோடு இருக்க வேண்டும். எந்த ஒரு ஸ்தாபனம் துவங்கப்பட்டாலும் அந்த ஸ்தாபனத்தில் ஜீவன் இருக்க வேண்டும். மனிதன் என்று சொன்னால் உள்ளே ஜீவன் இருக்க வேண்டும். அதுதான் சிவா. சிவா இல்லை என்றால் அது சவம். சிவம் இல்லையேல் அது சவம் என்பது போல எல்லா ஸ்தாபனங்களுக்குள்ளேயும் ஒரு ஜீவன் இருக்க வேண்டும். அந்த ஜீவத்தன்மைகள் குறைந்து கொண்டே வருவது என்பது வருத்தத்திற்குரிய விஷயம். நான் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட மடத்தை மட்டும் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட ஆதீனத்தை மட்டும் சொல்லவில்லை. தமிழகத்தில் உள்ள பழமையான படங்களில் பல ஆதீன கர்த்தங்களில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பல மடங்கள் புனரமைப்பு செய்யப்படாமலே பாழடைந்து கிடக்கின்றன, பராமரிப்பு இல்லாமல் இருக்கின்றன. இறை கருணை கொண்டு நமது நித்யானந்த பரமசிவத்தை அங்கே அனுப்பிய காரணமாக ஒரு புது எழுச்சி, புது மறுமலர்ச்சி ஏற்பட்டது என்றுதான் சொல்ல வேண்டும். அவர் செய்கின்ற செயல் மட்டும் நான் சொல்லவில்லை, இறைவனுடைய விருப்பமே அந்த பாழடைந்த ஒரு மடத்தை,
ஐயா ஜவஹர் பாபு ஐயா,
பாழடைந்த மடத்தை புனரமைத்து.
ஐயா ஜவஹர் பாபு ஐயா, நான் நீங்க பேச நான் அதை இங்கிலீஷ்ல டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணிடுறேன், அப்புறம் நீங்க அடுத்தது பேசலாம். ஐயா நித்யானந்தம், here our devotee Javagar Babu Ayya is telling that there are n number of Saiva traditional mud in the Tamil Nadu, and this Madurai Adinam is the very very oldest traditional mud. In the mud, actually there are many number of activities, service activities, actually 1000 years before it was happening. But now at present, even in Tamil Nadu, there are many Adinams and mud were there, but there is no any activities happening in the mud. There is no people also to take care of the mud. So at this situation, we are all blessed to have our Swamiji Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam as an reviver of our Saiva Vedic tradition, and he is the one, after when he assumes as the Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Madurai Adinam, he revived the entire Madurai Adinam, and he had done a big breakthrough of our Saiva mud in the traditional way. Nithyanandam ஐயா, நீங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணலாம்.
மனிதன் உயிரோட்டம் உள்ளவனாக இருக்க வேண்டும், தினசரி கடமைகளை செய்யக்கூடியவனாக மனிதன் இருக்க வேண்டும். கோமா நிலையில் படுத்திருப்பவன் மனிதன் அல்ல. அப்பதான் உலகில் இருக்கின்ற அந்த பிரபஞ்சத்தில் இருக்கின்ற அத்தனை செயல்களும் இயங்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. பெரிய பெரிய ஆதீனங்கள், பெரிய பெரிய மடங்கள் அதனுடைய செயல்பாடுகளை மறந்து பாரம்பரியம் மட்டுமே பேசுகின்ற மடங்களாகவே தமிழகத்தில் இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. இந்த மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு எழுச்சி, மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு மலர்ச்சி அந்த திரைமலை ஏற்படுத்தி இறைவன் நான் நன்றி சொல்ல கடமை இருக்கிறேன். சாரணமாக இருந்த மதி ஆதீனம் மிகப்பெரிய மக்கள் தின சொந்த போன்றவர்கள் தினம் மக்கள் நம்முடைய கோவில், நம்முடைய இடம் என்ற உணர்வு அதுதான் மக்களுக்கு ஏற்பட்டது. மக்கள் மட்டுமல்ல, பொதுமக்கள் தினம் இரவு எல்லா இடங்களிலும் வழங்கும். நூற்றுக்கணக்கான மக்கள் தினசரி உணவு உண்ணுவார்கள், நூற்றுக்கணக்கான மக்கள் அங்கே செல்லுவார்கள், ஆயிரக்கணக்கான பேர் தினசரி அறத்திற்கு வருவார்கள். இவ்விருஞான சிலருக்கு அப்புறம் ஏற்பட்ட பெரிய ஒரு மறுமலர்ச்சி. காரணம், தினசரி மக்கள் பார்த்தால்தான் ஒரு ஈரோட்டுள்ளதாக அர்த்தம். இல்லை என்றால் சரி மக்கள் மாற்றார்கள் என்றால் நித்யானந்த சுவாமி பரமசம் எங்கெல்லாம் அங்கு சென்றாரோ அப்போதெல்லாம் ஆயிரக்கணக்கான மக்கள் வருவார்கள். உணவு மட்டுமல்ல, பழமையான அந்த இடம் வளர்ந்து போயிடுது. ஐயோ, எப்படி சொல்லும், இடிந்து விட நிலையிலே அந்த மனம் போது அதை உணரமைத்தார். எதையும் நமது வேலை செய்து கொள்வார்கள். அந்த மடம் புதுப்பிக்கப்பட்டது. ஒரு கோவில் கும்பாபிஷேகம் நடப்பதற்கு அந்த இடத்திற்கு புதிய எழுச்சி, புதிய நிலை படுக்கிற ஒரு மடம் எழுந்து வீறு கொண்டு நின்றது. ஒரு எழுச்சியை நான் தினசரி கண்டோம். ஆயிரக்கணக்கான மக்கள் எத்தனையோ உதவிகள் கேட்டு வருவார்கள். அத்தனை பரம உதவிகள் நோயா நோய் வந்து நொடியா தவித்துக் கொண்டிருக்க மக்கள் ஓடி வருவார்கள் அவரிடத்திலே ஆசீர்வாதம். ஐயோ, கவலைகளை கொட்டிப்பார்கள். அங்கே உயிரோட்ட ஒரு ஜீவன் பரமம் அமர்ந்து கொண்டு அவர்களே ஆயிரக்கணக்கான மக்கள் உரையிடுவார், தண்ணீர் வேண்டுவார். அவருடைய கோரிக்கையை எல்லாம் மீனாட்சி அப்படி இந்த பசியும் ஏது எல்லாம் செய்து கொண்டிருந்தார்கள். உணவு மட்டுமல்ல, கட்டிடப்பட்டுமல்ல, சமூக சேவை மட்டுமல்ல, பல்வேறு காரியங்கள் அந்த பகுதியில் நடந்து இருந்தது. நான் பார்த்து தினசரி நித்தியம் வகையில் பூஜை நடப்பது போன்று தினமும் அந்த கூடி ஒரு புத்துணர்ச்சி கோமா இடையில் அந்த ஆதீனம் எடுத்து ஓடி.
Nithyanandam, here Jawahar Babu Ayya is sharing his personal experience. He was literally physically present there as among the devotees, and he did a volunteer service. Actually, he witnessed that Swamiji Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, after when he comes to Madurai Adinam as the 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam, the whole Madurai Adinam becomes so alive, active, and it is revived. Before, actually, when Swamiji comes to the Adinam, it was like a dead, and it was in a most destructive situation was there, and Swamiji is the one who stepped into the Adinam and give life to the whole Adinam. And there are actually many number of service activities Swamiji started. Among that, the thousands of people came to Adinam and have a daily Annadan, morning, evening, night, like that 24/7. Whoever comes into Adinam, they had food. Not only they had Annadan, they all received blessings and healing from Swamiji. Those who are all having any ailments or any physical or mental or disease in their life, they all came to Madurai Adinam, just like how Thirignana Sambandar gave the spiritual healing and healed the entire Pandya kingdom. Like that, Swamiji revived Thirignana Sambandar as an incarnation of Thirignana Sambandar. Our Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam has given spiritual healing to the whole Madurai people, and there are n number of people from all over the world. They all gathered in Madurai Adinam to receive blessings, to receive healing from Swamiji every day. And every day, along with the volunteers, our Jawahar Babu Ayya was there, and he physically served each and every one of them and gave Annadan, and also they served free medicine in the medical camp. There was every weekend we used to have a free medical camp. In those medical camps, actually starting from the basic disease, that is starting from fever, cold, till the last stage of cancer disease, all those people came and they all had free medicines, and they all had a treatment from the specialist doctors, and those doctors are all our devotees. Actually, among the devotees, there are many doctors are there. They all came voluntarily and did service in Madurai Adinam along with our Swamiji. Actually, they had done very beautiful social and spiritual services in the Madurai Adinam to revive our entire Madurai Adinam as per the vision of our Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Shyamala Pita Sarvanya Pitam once again is ruled, and the whole kingdom is revived by our Swamiji, 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam. Now, let us all watch the contributions of Annadan, how Swamiji and along with a group of hundreds of volunteers served food every day in the Madurai Adinam premises, and followed with that, people had a very nice experience, and they all shared the food which served in Madurai Adinam. It was like such a tasty, and then it was healing food, because when Swamiji personally energized that all the place, means actually it becomes so energized, and then everyone having that food are getting healed by themselves. So now I invite our Nithyananda TV operator to play the video clips of giving Annadan to the people in Madurai Adinam.
Nithya Anandeshwari Annamidum Annayum Ni Anandeshwari Nithya Anandeshwari Adishakti Nayakiye Anandeshwari Nithya Anandeshwari Kannamidum Karumangalai Maatri Ingu Karunayudan Vaalvil Varayetrugirai Anandeshwari ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி சம்ஸ்காரங்கள் கரைந்து இங்கு ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நாங்கள் சம்சார கடல் கடந்த ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஏழுடல்கள் கடந்து நித்ய வாழ்வினிலே நிலை பெறவே நித்யானந்த ஸ்பூரணம் தந்தாய் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி.
Nithyanandam. As I shared, there are n number of people actually in Madurai had visited our Madurai Adinam and had the Annadan services, and after having the food, they all actually shared their experience that they want actually the same kind of food every day in their life. And after having that prasadam, actually everyone is expressing their experience that they all getting healed physically. And apart from that, now I sharing those videos actually where how Swamiji actually distributed Annadan in our Madurai Adinam.
ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆதிசக்தி நாயகியே ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி அன்னமிடும் அன்னையும் நீ ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆதிசக்தி நாயகியே ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி கண்ணமிடும் கருமங்களை மாற்றியின்று கருணையுடன் வாழ்வில் கரையேற்றுகிறாய் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி சம்ஸ்காரங்கள் கரைந்து இங்கு ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நாங்கள் சம்சார கடல் கடந்த ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஏழுடல்கள் கடந்து நித்ய வாழ்வினிலே நிலை பெறவே நித்யானந்த ஸ்பூரணம் தந்தாய் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி.
Nithyanandam. As Jawahar Babu here shared the experience of distributing Annadan in Madurai Adinam, like that every weekend we had conducted the free medical camp. Whoever actually come to our Madurai Adinam, they all receive the spiritual healing. That's like how Thirugnana Sambandar used to give spiritual healing and heal the entire Pandya kingdom. So like that, Swamiji actually gave initiation to each one of us to heal the people. And with that spiritual healing initiation, we as a sannyasis and also devotees, every weekend we conducted a free medical camp. In those days, our devotees, actually there are many doctors were there, they all voluntarily came and participated and done a beautiful service to each individual who come to our Madurai Adinam. So that is the place where everyone completely cured from all the disease they had. So this one video clip you can also see how the medical camp has been conducted in our Madurai Adinam and for all the people they got benefited.
வேந்தர் ஆண்ட ராஜாங்கம் நம் தமிழ்நாடு என்னும் பேராகம் தென்பாண்டி மன்னன் அரசாங்கம் அது நான் மாட கூடல் நகராகும் மதுரையிலே நதி வைகையிலே கரையமர்ந்தாள் அன்னை மீனாட்சி மதுரை என்றாலும் மனதில் கொண்டாலும் சிவனார் அருள்வாரது நீதி 64 திருவிளையாடல் இறைவன் நடத்திய அருள் பூமி
Watched the medical camp has been conducted in Madurai Adinam. There are many thousands of people actually gathered and benefited from this medical. Along with our devotees and volunteers, he started reviving the whole Madurai Adinam, our entire premises, and then he started renovating the Madurai Adinam, starting from the scratch, that is cleaning all the areas and then painting the whole entire building, and our temple was getting ready to have Kumbhabhishekam on that time. And there are 4 temples, actually branch temples of Madurai Adinam, which is coming under the responsibility of our 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam. After when he assumed as the pontiff of Madurai Adinam, Swamiji travelled all those 4 temples and he visited and he started all the renovation activities in a full speed way. Actually what from the base, actually he himself involved, and then he started cleaning the entire temple. That was a huge temple in Tirupparambiyam, that is Sakshinadhar temple, and Swamiji and along with him our sannyasis and volunteers, we all went along with him. That was occasion actually Swamiji gave as such an inspiration and why we should revive the temple and what is the significance, that is to revive the temple based enlightenment ecosystem. Swamiji from the beginning, that is from 2000 onwards till now, 20 years of his life is dedicated for this one vision, that is to revive the entire enlightenment based ecosystem in the planet Earth. This one, our Madurai Adinam, is one of the unique and it is most oldest traditional mud. Actually Swamiji, after becoming the pontiff of this Adinam, he done amazing rejuvenation and the revival has been happened in the very temple, that in the Sakshinadhar temple, and the whole day 24/7 we cleaned the entire place and then we painted the whole our temple buildings, and then Swamiji gave the each and every steps how we have to renovate the temple, that is starting from the Gopuram, Rajagopuram till the Garbha Mandir. He took all of us and then revived the entire temple and make this temple user friendly for everyone in the city Paramashivoham. So now had revived the entire temple with a team of volunteers and devotees.
மறைநான்கின் பொருளாக இறையன்பின் திரளாக உலகாலும் அருளாகுமே. வேதங்கள் துதிப்பாடும் உயர் வேதம் என்னாலும் நித்யானந்தன் பாதமே, நித்ய குருநாதன் திருப்பாதமே.
குருபாதமே நித்ய குருபாதமே, நம்மை காக்க மண் மீது நடை போடும் திருக்கற்ப தரு நித்ய குருபாதமே. குருபாதமே நித்ய குருபாதமே, நம்மை காக்க மண் மீது நடை போடும் திருக்கற்ப தரு நித்ய குருபாதமே.
வாழ்வதன் விடிவாக ஞானத்தின் வடிவாக மண்மீதிலே வலம் வரும் திருக்கோயில் ரிஷிராஜன் தவசீலன் நித்யானந்தன் பாதமே, நித்ய குருநாதன் திருப்பாதமே.
குருபாதமே நித்ய குருபாதமே, நம்மை காக்க மண் மீது நடை போடும் திருக்கற்ப தரு நித்ய குருபாதமே. குருபாதமே நித்ய குருபாதமே, நம்மை காக்க மண் மீது நடை போடும் திருக்கற்ப தரு நித்ய குருபாதமே.
யோகங்கள் வரம் நீந்தும் யாகங்கள் பல ஜென்ம தவத்தாலுமே காணாத பெரும் ஞானம் பெருகும் அப்பொற்பாதம் அணுகின்ற கண நேரமே இணையில்லாத வரமாகுமே.
குருபாதமே நித்ய குருபாதமே, நம்மை காக்க மண் மீது நடை போடும் திருக்கற்ப தரு நித்ய குருபாதமே. குருபாதமே நித்ய குருபாதமே, நம்மை காக்க மண் மீது நடை போடும் திருக்கற்ப தரு நித்ய குருபாதமே.
Nithyanandam, as we all watched how Swamiji had done such a hard work to revive our Madurai Adinam and the branch temples of Madurai Adinam called Tirupparambiam Sakshinathar Temple and Kanchanur Agnishwarar Temple and then Kachannam and then Pannaka Parameshwari Temple. All these four temples, Swamiji, after when he assumed as an he planned to have a big festival called Kumbhabhishekam in each temple. So he started in a full speed way of renovating all the temple activities and he bought a new temple and puja items to all the temples. So that was his life passion, that patience to do all these activities with all the volunteers. And now our Jawar Babu Ayya witnessed among all the devotees. He is the one who witnessed directly how in the four temples Swamiji went there and started from the scratch. He cleaned and revived the entire temple. Ayya Nithyanandam, Jawar Babu Ayya. Nithyanandam Ayya. Ayya, அந்த 4 கோவில்கள், அதாவது மதுரை ஆதீனத்திற்கு பாத்தியப்பட்ட சொந்தமான கோவில்கள், அங்கு சுவாமிஜி போய் அவர் பண்ணின அந்த சேவைகளை பற்றி நீங்க சொல்லாங்க.
மதுரை ஆதீனம் மட்டுமல்ல, ஆதீனத்துக்கு சொந்தமா பலூர்கள்ல பல கோயில்கள் இருக்கு, புகழ்பெற்ற பாடல ஸ்தலங்கள் இருக்கு. இந்த ஸ்தலங்கள்ல கோயில்களோட அமைக்கப்பட்டது நம்ம பரமசிவத்துடைய தான். அவங்க விஷயம் செய்வது அவைகள் எல்லாம் புனர்தானம் செய்வதற்கான வேலை செஞ்சாங்க. உயிரோட்டமாக அந்த கோவில்ல பணி நடந்தது. நம்முடைய பேர்கள் எல்லாம் கோவில்ல உழவார செய்தாங்க. உள் மக்கள் பலர் இந்த கோவிலுக்கு வர ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. ஒரு பெரிய மறுச்சி ஏற்பட்ட மாதிரி அந்த சூழ்நிலை இருந்தது. அந்த வீடியோல கூட பார்த்திருப்போம். சுவாமி இடத்துல போகும்போது அவர் காலை சுடும் வெயில் அவை அந்த வெயிலெல்லாம் பொருட்படுத்தாம அவர் அந்த பார்வையிடுவதற்காக வந்தாங்க. எல்லா இடங்கள் எல்லா மக்களும் அந்த ஒரே ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி அடைஞ்சிருக்கும். ஊர் மக்கள் கோயிலுக்கு வாங்க, சாமி வந்திருக்காரு அப்படின்னு சொன்ன ஊர் மக்கள் எல்லாம் வாங்க. கோயிலிடும் எந்த கோயில்கள் எல்லாம் அந்த மதுரை காலத்துல சொந்தமா இருக்குதோ அத்தனை ஊர்களுக்கும் ஒரு விஜயம் சார். எல்லா கோயிலும் போய் அந்த கோயிலை புனர்வாழ்வதற்கான அடிப்படை வசதிகள் எல்லாம் செஞ்சாங்க. அந்த அது மட்டும் கோவிலை மட்டும் அந்த ஊர்ல இருக்கிற மக்களுக்கு எல்லாம் ஊழல் கொடுத்தாங்க. நோயினுடைய வாழ்க்கை தாங்க. பல்வேறு வகையான பணிகளை செஞ்சாங்க. சுவாமி எங்கெல்லாம் போறாங்க அந்த ஊர்ல இருக்கிற மக்கள் எல்லாம் சந்தோஷப்படுவாங்க. இருக்கிற வரவே வழியெல்லாம் திரண்டு நிற்பாங்க. எல்லாருக்கும் ஆசீர்வாதம், எல்லா மக்களுக்கு உண்ண உணவு கிடைக்கும், எல்லாருக்கும் நோய் இல்லாம வாழ ஹீலிங் கிடைக்கும். எல்லா செய்திகள் அந்த கிராமங்கள் சுபிட்சமா இருக்கும். பல கோயில் அவருக்கு போய் அந்த கோயில இருக்கிற உழவாரம் செய்யக்கூடிய மக்கள், அந்த கோயில இருக்கிற ஊழியர்கள் எல்லாம் பலன் அடைஞ்சாங்க. மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு மாற்றமும் முயற்சியும் சாமி வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் பரமசிவம் விஜயம் செய்தப்பே அந்த எதிர்ச்சியை நாங்க கூட இருந்து கண்கூடாக அந்த காட்சியை இன்னைக்கும் கூட நிலைநாட்டு. இதெல்லாம் வரலாற்றுல மிக முக்கியமான விஷயம். திருஞான சம்பந்தர் மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு மறுமலர்ச்சி ஏற்படுவதற்கான காரணம் இவர் அமைஞ்ச எழுச்சி. கோவில் எல்லாம் வேறுபாடு இருக்கணும், பூஜிக்கணும், மக்கள் வரணும். அந்த சூழ்நிலை பரமசிவம் எங்கெல்லாம் கோயில்களுக்கு போனாங்களோ அங்க மக்கள் உற்சாகமா எழுத்து இருந்தாங்க. உண்ண உணர்வு மக்கள் கஷ்டப்படல, யாருக்கும் யாரும் கஷ்டம்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. எல்லாருக்கும் தேவையெல்லாம் பூர்த்திச்சாங்க. எல்லாரும் எழுது தினம் கோயிலுக்கு வருவாங்க. சுவாமி போதி மாதிரியெல்லாம் மக்கள் வழியா வந்து கொண்டிருப்பாங்க. அப்படி ஒரு எழுச்சி இருந்தது. எல்லா கோயிலையும் புனர்தான் செய்து ஆடியாக அண்ணன் முதல் கொண்டு சமூக சேவை முதல் ஆலய பணி கொண்டு எல்லா காரியங்களும் திறம்பட இருந்த நாங்க கூட இருந்து கண்ணார பார்த்தோம். அற்புதமா எழுதியும் மறுமலர்ச்சியும் இறைவனால பார்க்கிறோம்.
நன்றிங்கய்யா. ஐயா ஜவஹர் பாபு ஐயா, ரொம்ப அருமையா நீங்க உங்களுடைய பகிர்தல், அதாவது நேரடியாக மதுரை ஆதீனத்திலிருந்து நீங்க வாலண்டியர் சர்வீஸ் பண்ணதும் பகவான் எப்படி அந்த வாலண்டியர் சர்வீஸ் பண்ணாருன்னு அருமையா நீங்க சொன்னீங்க. நான் இப்போ ஆங்கிலத்துல அதை அப்படியே டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணிடுறேங்க. Javagar Babu express actually he is the blessed one to be along with Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam on the special very occasion in reviving the temple. They all witnessed that Swamiji himself cleaned the entire temple premises and along with him activities in those temples, and he expressed his experience that Swamiji is the one who actually give life to those temples. Actually, before when Swamiji came to those areas, actually it was like so dull and dead. Now Swamiji gave the new life to the whole temple itself. His life is to revive the temple-based civilization, not only here in Tamil Nadu, in the whole planet here. He came down to revive actually the temple-based enlightenment ecosystem. So this is the sharing from Javagar Babu Ayya. We thank Javagar Babu Ayya for your sharing experiences to all the Nithyananda TV viewers. Now I would like to pass on to Ma Sadashiva Priyamma to continue and share about more on our Shyamala Pita Sarvanya Pita. Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam. Thank you so much, Sri Nithyananda Swami, for joining us today and sharing with all our viewers about all the contributions, the services that Swamiji has been extending in the Shyamala Peetham Sarvanya Peetham in Madurai, and also to Javagar Babu Ayya for joining us and sharing with us those valuable moments, those valuable experiences that he had with Swamiji himself. Let us now take a few minutes break to learn about the latest happenings in the various de facto embassies, Adinam centers established by His Divine Holiness, the Supreme Pontiff, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. We have various activities going on, and one of the major programs, the most happening event of Sri Kailasa right now is the Paramashivoham Level 2 program. Yes, we are right now in the batch 3, the third batch of the Paramashivoham Level 2 program, which has been happening all the batches back to back without even one day gap. Immediately, the 16-day programs have been scheduled back to back because Swamiji does not want to waste even a single day in delivering this program to the humanity. And we want to ensure that anybody who has missed on the previous batch makes it to the next batch. And hence we are today in the batch 3. Batch 4 will be starting on the 7th of May. So in case you haven't yet attended the program, do register yourself immediately. If you do not yet know about the program, just stay on for a few more minutes. We'll be letting you know. The Paramashivoham Level 2 program is a 16-day, with the lack of a better word, I'm having to call it a program, but it is 16 days of 16 hours spending with the Avatar, sitting in Upanishad with the Avatar, with Swamiji himself, His Divine Holiness, receiving beautiful, amazing initiations from His Divine Holiness. As a result, manifesting the extraordinary Shaktis, the powers that every human being, every being is capable of, and every being is meant to be radiating these powers. And through the manifestation of these Shaktis, experiencing very tangibly the higher states of consciousness, establishing ourselves in higher states of consciousness. And you will see when you go back from this program, you will not be the you that you know. Every problem, every concern, every issue in your life would have been made redundant, resolved by the grace of Swamiji, and you will be a completely new person, being able to look at it, not just look at it from a new perspective, but handle it with these powers, manifesting the reality as you want. Yesterday, the Paramashivoham participants who have joined us from over 85 countries around the world, sitting from their very homes. As we know, it is still the situation when we are in lockdown, we are quarantined in our homes. And it is only the participants of the Paramashivoham program who are literally enjoying themselves. And yesterday, they had the session of Kalpataru, learning the science of manifesting your reality. Yes, Swamiji is sharing with the whole world these beautiful, amazing sciences, the sacred secrets which are revealed in our Agamas, Vedas, Shastras, reviving the lifestyle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which is the most practical and the most ideal lifestyle. And one of the sciences that Swamiji shared with us yesterday was the science of Kalpataru. So all the participants learned as to how, just by looking in, changing themselves within, they can manifest the reality they want in the outside world. And let us understand that this program is not just an internalizing program, looking into yourself, a personality development program. No. Your very identity is going to change. The very being that you manifest will be the being of Paramashiva. Because this program is not just about teaching you techniques and giving you powerful cognitions, but about sitting in Upanishad with the Avatar himself, sitting in the very presence, the Divya Sharira of Swamiji, and you will directly be mirroring his neurons, imbibing his energy, and radiating his being, the being of Paramashiva. So that is the most unique component of this program, where Swamiji, though he has been isolated from the society, though he is not here with us physically, he is making himself available throughout the duration of the 16 days, giving us darshan, the sacred divine opportunity to see his divine form, and through that, transmitting petabytes of powerful cognition, transmitting uncountable. You cannot even cognize that amount of energy and something beyond an experience that we cannot cognize to all of us. You will hear, if you speak to any Paramashivoham participant, as you did not know how, but so much has changed within them, so much has shifted within them just after sitting through darshans. That is the beauty of this program, that effortlessly Swamiji is transmitting that experience of Paramashivatva to all of us. But why should we attend this program at this time? This time when the whole world is facing the crisis of Corona. Maybe you have a few near and dear ones who have been affected by the disease. Maybe you are affected by the various impacts of the Corona, the economic crisis, the lack of food, and so many various other impacts that we are facing. It is time we really find the true solution, looking beyond all these problems, making these redundant, and helping the world cope up with this crisis. You sitting back in your house and connecting to Paramashiva and manifesting these Shaktis is not going to limit just to your spiritual experience. It is hugely going to contribute to raising the consciousness, giving the whole world a superconscious breakthrough. So give yourself this opportunity, earn yourself this punya of being part of this huge group which is sitting with Swamiji, manifesting the space and powers and being of Paramashiva, and through that, impacting the whole world. Give yourself this chance. Register yourself on the link projected on your screen below, paramashivoham.org. Moving on, we have various other activities happening in the various different adinams. Of course, we know that the only solution, the source of the problem, and addressing that is the Paramashivoham program. But simultaneously, Sri Kailasa is extending its services through various adinams by serving people through Annadan. Annadan is not just the charity of food, but we serve people the food cooked as per the Bhaga Shastra, organic vegetarian meals. You can see the pictures projected which are packed and served. This is the pictures from Shyamala Peetham, Sarvagna Peetham in Madurai Adinam. All the food is personally cooked by the volunteers, disciples and sannyasis. Completely organic, completely vegetarian. And like Swamiji said, when you become a vegetarian, when you have one vegetarian meal, you're literally feeding 30 other people. Because one non-vegetarian meal, the amount of crop, the amount of resource that goes into producing that is equivalent to producing 30 vegetarian meals. So through this, we're seeing pictures from both the Shyamala Peetham, Sarvagna Peetham and the Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham in Tiruvannamalai. Shyamala Peetham, Sarvagna Peetham serves food to over 200 to 300 people in and around the region of Madurai. And Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham serves over 100 sadhus, wandering monks of Tiruvannamalai, the spiritual hub of our country. We can see so many people who are served food. Yes. As Swamiji says, the way we give, if you give them with one hand, they should not be able to hold in both their hands. Swamiji has personally guided, advised, micromanaged the Annadan activities where he ensures that we are not just serving people food, but ensuring that they are fulfilled, their stomachs are full. We really attend to their needs through this Annadan. Moving on, the agriculture activities, organic farming continues in various adinams, Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham, the Adi Kailasa Sarvagna Peetham, and various other adinams of Sri Kailasa. What is beautiful? Yes, I will give us a few more minutes while we see the pictures of the Annadan activities. Throughout the day, this food is cooked, like I mentioned, in an organic, sattvic way. We can see, even in this time of quarantine, maintaining the protocols of social distancing, we are trying to reach out to as many sadhus, as many people who are in need, and not just human beings, but the various other animals. All beings are being fed their meals through the various Sarvajñapithams. Moving on, the agriculture, organic farming activities continues in various of our Adinams, the Arunachala Sarvajñapitham, the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapitham, where what you will see is, it is not just the farming, not just the organic farming, but you will see our own sannyasis of Sri Kailasa, of Nithyananda Sampradaya, themselves indulging in the agriculture activities, learning the science, learning the techniques of organic agriculture, where there is no chemical, no fertilizer, artificial fertilizers used in this farming. Completely organic, from growing the flowers that we need for the puja in the temple, the greens, everything. Swamiji has built Sri Kailasa completely, all single-handedly, whether it is delivering the amazing satsangs, powerful cognitions, or be it building the adinam, the infrastructure, holding the people, everything. And similarly, Swamiji is raising every sannyasi from being able to manage and perform every activity end to end, be it farming, cooking, or even sitting and teaching the great truths to all the people. We will see the very same sannyasis sitting and taking classes, being acharyas, healing the devotees, performing rituals in the temple, cooking for the sannyasis, and also farming themselves. The organic farming, organic agriculture, is to ensure that nobody goes hungry during these times of lockdown, where food scarcity is a very, very major issue that we all are facing. So we are seeing multiple pictures of our very own sannyasis performing the organic farming. In the Agamas, Paramashiva himself mentions that everything that you offer to Paramashiva, be it in the form of Naivedyam, the flowers, the Alankaram, everything should be grown by yourself, should be homegrown. And hence, we are putting his instructions to practice, aligning ourselves to integrity to Paramashiva and the Agamas, where we grow our own flowers, our own vegetables, crops, which is used to cook the Naivedyam, offer it to Paramashiva, and then eat. It is not just about filling stomachs, it is not just about not starving, but it is a spiritual process, a spiritual requirement for you to cook, to grow your own food and eat your own food, because like Swamiji says always, you become what you eat. And so these sannyasis are growing their own food, cooking and serving the people. With that, With that, let us now go ahead in this segment.
Just as we have seen, all of the sannyasis and female sannyasis here taking care of the agriculture, doing the grunt work, the farm work, and taking care completely in order to provide for the entire city of Adi Kailaasa. His Divine Holiness has been empowering women since the very beginning of his mission. Fundamentally, when it comes to Sanatana Hindu Dharma itself, every aspect is about empowering each individual consciousness without any discrimination against any gender, class, race, religion, whatever it is. The truths of Sanatana Hindu Dharma pervade and apply to all living beings, all life. Whether it is in application to animals, whether it is in application to the different classifications in human society like gender or race, religion, nationality, whatever it is, fundamentally Hinduism has catered to the entire world, every single living being. And His Divine Holiness has spearheaded and established Sri Kailasa on the fundamental principle of absolutely no discrimination against anybody, against any living body. Like I said, this is truly a Hindu principle, but for whatever reason over time in history, many traditions have been denied because of misunderstandings and misrepresentations and complete crimes done against Hinduism. There may be a superstition and belief outside, and that belief, I tell you, is actually a wild misrepresentation of Hinduism to the point where it's actually an abuse of Hinduism. There might be this belief that Hinduism can be oppressive against women. The truth is, if you see in the Shastras, if you see in the fundamental lifestyle, and if you see in the history, Hinduism is the most empowering way of life in the world. And just by the example of Madurai Meenakshi, the fact that an entire civilization, an entire Hindu nation had fallen literally under one matriarch, shows that Hinduism in its origin is a matriarchal civilization. Across the world, Sri Meenakshi established Hinduism for the first time in the Indian subcontinent and even across the Indian subcontinent into Pakistan, into Cambodia. She was a powerful force, showing that Hinduism has never disempowered women, has never been oppressive against women. On the other hand, Hinduism has been led by women, has been established by Madurai Meenakshi, the divine feminine consciousness. Madurai Meenakshi Parashakti was herself a matriarch. She was a ruler as a woman, and she saw over her entire kingdom as mother. In history, it tells of the Ashtasaki of Meenakshi. These Ashtasaki were the very extensions of Meenakshi, the people whom she literally created from her very DNA and helped her in manifesting the entire Madurai Meenakshi dynasty, the entire kingdom, and the entire civilization. These Ashtasakhi were extremely trained, as just of course as Madurai Meenakshi is, were trained in administration, in war tactics, in strategy planning, in all of these different ways. These Ashtasakhi were the ruling dynasties and ruling governing bodies of the Meenakshi kingdom. So please understand, this nation of that Meenakshi Parashakti established was fundamentally ruled entirely by women. These Ashtasakhi had also established so many of the sciences. They were doctors. They helped humanity understand the fundamentals of science, the way the inner workings of the body are, much before and much beyond modern day science. Not only that, they had traveled the entire subcontinent, continuously healing people, continuously addressing and distributing this science to everyone who needs it as a higher way of life. In the conquering as well, these Ashtasakhi played an immense role in protecting Madurai Meenakshi Parashakti and her body, in becoming the security force and everything that was needed when it came to homeland defense of the country at that time. Why I'm telling this is because His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam, the reincarnation of Madurai Meenakshi, has again started a unique movement for feminine empowerment. In Hinduism, there's such a huge belief out there that Hindu women cannot be sannyasis, Hindu women are stuck in gendered roles. These are absolutely false statements made even within us. We started to believe these false statements. We started to become disempowered by the narratives that have been ruling us since centuries, since the entire persecution against Hinduism. Whether it is a yogini tradition or this tradition, the lineage and ruling bodies established by the Ashtasakhi and established by Madurai Meenakshi. No matter what, in Hinduism, the women were pivotal roles in the society. Just like that, His Divine Holiness is reviving a civilization where women play fundamental roles in the administration of a civilization, in teaching and distributing knowledge across all people, in healing the entire humanity and all beings of all diseases. His Divine Holiness has continuously trained women in becoming sannyasis, dedicating their lives to training, to serving the world. And once a woman becomes sannyasi, she is an acharya and continuously giving to humanity. In the Agama, in the doctrine of even initiating another being into sannyas and the rituals of sannyas, the Viraja Homa is performed. And even in that, there is absolutely no discrimination in the scriptural reference against women being sannyasis. In fact, it includes women in the description. So His Divine Holiness, taking and being utmost integrated to the Shastras, has allowed women to become sannyasis, has given this beautiful opportunity for us to live and contribute our lives to Sanatana Hindu Dharma and completely go beyond any gendered roles, society itself, and have a superconscious breakthrough. Whether it is being trained as priests or being trained as acharyas, as teachers, or being trained as a healer for the public, learning the sciences of healing others, Ayurveda, and even the good parts of allopathy and the modern technology. In every single way, His Divine Holiness has supported. And in fact, in 2012, women lived in the operations inside of the Madurai Adinam, training as sannyasis, as annadhatas, as acharyas, as doctors, as healers, and continuously in service of humanity. We were all training at that time and had continuously been doing service when either if it comes to annadhan, serving the free nutritious food to all the people, or running the medical camps and attending to all of the people, or even overseeing the cleaning of the temples and renovation of the Adinam and associated temples. No matter what, women were a part of the mission, empowered at this time to play more and more of a significant role in the revival of Shamalapita Sarvagnapitam. And they were continuously empowered to seek spiritual truths in their daily lives and be trained in the life of sannyas. I can tell from my personal experience as a female sannyasi, having taken up this lifestyle, it is absolutely 100% the best gift in the world. No matter what, I can be completely assured, and I know that even if I leave this body and if I don't live any longer, I will be completely satisfied with the fact that I am a sannyasi. And that opportunity is given to me by His Divine Holiness. And I am absolutely grateful for just that opportunity which He has given for me to live in this lifestyle. Like me, thousands of women have become a part of the revival of Sri Kailasa, knowing that this, among all of the other opportunities that they may have in their lifetime, is the best thing that can happen to them. Unfortunately, one of the worst crimes done against His Divine Holiness at the most, and against Hinduism, and against the female sannyasis of the Sri Kailasa and of the Nithyananda order, there is so much of slanderous abuse, hatred, false persecution done against the female sannyasis, just because, without any reason, because we took up this lifestyle of sannyas. There's no legitimate reason for them to pour so much of hatred outside, depict all of the female sannyasis with such terrible, atrocious words. All of us have taken the life of celibacy, have taken a life of austere spiritual practice. However, the way that they have entirely misrepresented and morphed our image on the outside makes us into prostitutes. They have literally shown us in the public, have morphed images of us, have spread slanderous abuse, spread lies, absolute poisonous lies, in order to discredit, delegitimize the work of His Divine Holiness and ultimately destroy His mission and justify their attempts to assassinate Him. It is a part of a large, grand scheme. If you come across ever an abusive post against His Divine Holiness, speaking about the female sannyasis, understand, it might be just one post, but it is a part of a very large conspiracy, persecution, and ultimate attack, ultimate destruction of Hinduism. In 2012, a case against His Divine Holiness and Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam was filed, claiming with absolute atrociousness that we have run inside the Madurai Adinam wrongdoings, that the women were not dressed properly, that they were not properly dressed, and also they were claiming that we are running a prostitution ring inside of the Madurai Adinam, a holy place, a place where Meenakshi herself ruled, a matriarch, a woman herself, the embodiment of divine consciousness. They dare to claim that women inside of this Adinam are actually prostitutes and there for immoral purpose. What do they mean? It's an absolute lie, and it's so far a lie, an attack against the efforts and work of the revival of Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam, that is so obvious what they are doing. So on this day that they had filed this petition, the women of Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam, sannyasis who had taken up the life in the Nithyananda order, ordained by His Divine Holiness, had protested. They first held a press meet, addressing the press and the public, showing and speaking out that absolutely no crime, no prostitution has been done inside of the Madurai Adinam. First, and that was in the very first level. And secondly, they stood strongly to the fact that His Divine Holiness has empowered them to live a life of austere spiritual practice. And His Divine Holiness has given them the opportunity to transform themselves, initiated them into super consciousness, and make themselves into radiating the biomemory and the energy of Meenakshi. In fact, one of the sannyasis has shared that at that time, His Divine Holiness had told her that the energy of Madurai Adinam, the entire Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam, is such that the walls have imbibed the energy of Meenakshi Parashakti, and anyone who is in that very presence will start to radiate that very energy of Meenakshi Parashakti. Now, what is more empowering than this? Becoming Devi herself just by living in that place. It's absolutely atrocious, the kind of lies and case they file against us. So on this day, we protested strongly against the media public and the anti-Hindu elements, the caste supremacists, to protest against the claims that they were making, standing testament to the fact that His Divine Holiness and Sanatana Hindu Dharma has done nothing but empower women. In fact, many people had, along with the women sannyasis, even outside sources, had spoken and told that there's absolutely no prostitution, there's absolutely no idea going on, even iota, anything remotely going on which is wrong. In fact, a very prominent figure in society, a transgender woman, had come forward. This woman had been coming for Sarvadarshan for many days, since the beginning of the time that His Divine Holiness was there physically in Madurai. And she came and had benefited so much from the blessings and initiation of His Divine Holiness that she herself spoke on what is happening inside of Shamalapita Sarvagnapitam is a direct empowerment of women, and the media public is directly attacking the traditions of Shamalapita Sarvagnapitam, and there's absolutely no way that any kind of prostitution or anything like that was going on. You can see the pictures now of Bharati Kannamma, the founder of the charitable trust for the upliftment of transgenders in Madurai, and she is the founder of this foundation. She came along with many other co-founding members of her charitable trust, and they all voiced their absolute testament, strong testament to the work of His Divine Holiness in reviving the Shamalapita Sarvagnapitam. And they shared one by one how His Divine Holiness has been working not for all living beings, for women and for marginalized communities such as transgenders as well. We can also see the video of Bharati Kannamma, the founder of this charitable trust for the upliftment of transgenders, who had come to this press meet to speak out and her immense support and applaud the efforts of His Divine Holiness. Not just applaud, but she herself was a devotee and found so much of benefit from the teachings of His Divine Holiness and His blessings. So as you can see, so many people had voiced their absolute support, had shown in strong testament to the fact that there is absolutely no wrong going on inside of Madurai Adinam, that the false allegations were completely driven by anti-Hindus, by caste supremacists, who did not want the revival of Shamalapita Sarvagnapitam to happen. Later that day, the women all went to the Madurai collector's office in Madurai, and they filed a petition in order to stand strongly against the false allegations that happened, that anti-Hindus filed against His Divine Holiness and Shamalapita Sarvagnapitam. You're now seeing the petition that they filed with the Madurai collector's office. The fact of the matter is that even when women sannyasis, devotees of His Divine Holiness, have been attacked and have been marginalized completely just for their religious affiliation, His Divine Holiness empowered them to never be powerless, to never to even when they are attacked, stand up and protest peacefully as sannyasis. Now you are seeing all of them approach the collector's office and file the petition. And the brahmacharinis, the female sannyasis, expressing to the collector the crimes done against them, the absolute defamation, and standing testament to the fact that His Divine Holiness has done nothing, absolutely nothing, but empower and transform each and every person into divine consciousness, and each and every woman into Meenakshi herself. Like this, they have made so many atrocious claims. You won't believe 50 cases were filed against His Divine Holiness and Shamalapita Sarvajñapītam in order to try their best to remove His Divine Holiness as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam. Why? Why should they want that? Because they know that he will revive the Shamalapita Sarvajñapītam and it will not be within their control anymore. And the leeching forces that were invested in the failure and invested in the downfall of Hinduism would be entirely vanquished. They knew that His Divine Holiness had this power and he would work until he would do so. So they employed every single means they could in order to stop that from happening. Every single month, His Divine Holiness continuously had contributed, no matter what. Understand, from morning until night, continuously overseeing the Annadan process, the Annadan which is going on, feeding 2,000 people, the medical camps which were having at least 1,500 to 2,000 people per day flock their camps and receive the benefits. And then not only that, attending class sessions of the Kodaikanal Inner Awakening in July 2012. And in between also attending to the renovations of the Madurai Adinam, protecting the heritage which is in the very walls of the Shamalapita Sarvajñapītam. And not only that, renovating, constructing all of the associated temples, the 4 branch temples that were associated with Madurai Adinam. Each of them, His Divine Holiness visited, and he himself personally had cleaned these Adinam. While this was going on, while he was contributing so much, at the same time these attacks kept on coming in, kept on becoming more and more aggressive in nature, even becoming physical attacks. But His Divine Holiness never stopped contributing, never gave up. Until today, every single person in Madurai, even the devotees, as you heard today, devotees still remember the way that His Divine Holiness lived in Madurai, the way he continuously contributed and had spoken in so profoundly on the truths of Hinduism. Not only that, had physically shown the work of the revival. Devotees still remember, still sing in praise and in absolute love for the work of His Divine Holiness, for the way that he absolutely sacrificed himself and came down to revive the whole Shamala Pita Sarvagna Pitam. It was such a beautiful sharing, so inspiring to see the way that even if it was 8 years ago, 2012, the amount of impact that His Divine Holiness has made on a devotee. Now, let us understand how the press meet had gone. This press meet again was the women, the Brahmacharinis of the Nithyananda order, standing up strongly in testament to how His Divine Holiness has empowered them, how media is attacking them and justifying the subsequent attacks which were going on. Not only that, you will see the chief founder of transgenders to speak strongly in support of His Divine Holiness during this press meet. So let's watch that press meet.
Mike, நல்லது பேசலாம். அதுக்குள்ள சர்டிபிகேட் ஃபோர்ஜரின்டான்னு சொல்லி அதான் மைக் இருக்கட்டுமா வேணாம்.
இப்போ ஒரு அருமையான கேள்வி கேட்டீங்க. ஏன் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட மதத்தை மட்டுமே நீங்கள் என்ன, அதுக்கு நான் வன்மையாக எதிர்க்கிறேன். ஏன்னா நான் என்ன ஜாதி, என் மக்கள் என்ன ஜாதி, இது வரைக்கும் இந்த சன்னிதானத்துக்குள்ளே யாராவது வந்திருக்காங்களா? எங்களை மாதிரி திருநங்கைகள் முதல்ல நித்யானந்தா தலைமையில் இருக்கிற அந்த அமைப்பு தான் எங்களை உள்ளே வர வச்சிருக்குது. அப்புறம் என்னத்துக்கு ஜாதியை பற்றி கேட்குறீங்க? முடிந்தால் நான் தகுதியானவள்னா நிச்சயமாக ஒரு கட்டம் வரும். அதுக்காக பதவிக்காக பேசலை. நிச்சயமாக அந்த மனது அந்த தாய்மை உள்ளத்தோடு வந்து பராமரிக்கிற அந்த இதுவும் வந்து ஆணும் இல்லாமல் பெண்ணும் இல்லாமல் அர்த்தநாரீஸ்வரன்னா அவர் ஆன்மீகத்துக்கு சொந்தக்காரர். நீங்கள் அவர்கிட்ட சண்டை போடுங்க. ஏன் அரவாணிகள் ஆட்சி படத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்கிறதுக்கும் யாருக்குமே உரிமை கிடையாது. அதன் பொருட்டு தான் இப்போ நான் வந்திருக்கிறேன். நான் வந்து பாரதி கண்ணம்மா அறக்கட்டளைங்கிற அமைப்பு திருநங்கைகளுக்காகவும் ஆதரவற்ற பெண்களுக்காகவும் இருக்கிறோம். ஆனால் எல்லாரும் ஆட்சி இவங்க நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகளுக்கு ஆதரவு கொடுப்பாங்களா கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்களாங்கிறது அது அவரவங்க விருப்பத்தை பொறுத்தது. என்னோட பேர் பாரதி கண்ணம்மா.
Yes. In that video, we are seeing how Bharati Kannamma, the founder of the charitable trust, is strongly voicing her support for Swamiji, where she is saying that she's asking whether has this happened that transgenders like us have come into the Madurai Adinam. The first time only after Swamiji has taken on the responsibility. Have these marginalized communities also started coming in, started receiving the blessings of Swamiji, getting involved in the sacred services activities of Madurai Adinam. Only now, after Swamiji has entered the Madurai Adinam, have these marginalized communities even had the opportunity to involve themselves. Let us watch further.
பாரதி கண்ணம்மா அறக்கட்டளை. ஆனா என்னுடைய அமைப்புல கிட்டத்தட்ட 10,000 பொதுமக்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க. அதுதான் பெரிய விஷயம். We want to mingle with the society. எல்லாருமே திருநங்கைகள் ஒதுக்கும் போது அந்த பொதுமக்களோட நான் ஐக்கியமாக இருக்கிறேன். திருநங்கைகளுக்குன்னு சேவை செய்யறதுக்கு வேற அமைப்பு இருக்குது. அதனால என்னோட அமைப்புல திருநங்கையா நான் அவருக்கு நான் திருநங்கையாக ஆதரவு தெரிவிக்கிறேன். ஆனா மற்ற திருநங்கைகள் நீங்க ஆதரவு தெரிவிக்கணும், ஆதரவு தெரிவிக்க கூடாதுங்கிறது என்னோட வேலை. அது அவர் விருப்பத்திற்கு உட்பட்டது. அதை நான் தெளிவா உங்ககிட்ட சொல்லிடுறேன். ரெண்டாவது இன்னொரு விஷயம் என்னன்னா, நேத்து அரவாணிகள் ஆட்சிப்படத்துக்கு வரக்கூடாது யார் சொன்னது? சிஎஸ்ஐ ஒரு கிறிஸ்துவ மதம் பேராயரான் அப்பாயின்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க சார். அப்புறம் எங்கள ஏன் உங்களுக்கே அந்த வைத்தறிச்சல்? எல்லா விதத்திலையும் நாங்கள் கருவறையிலேருந்து கல்லறை வரைக்கும், ஒரு நிமிஷம் நான் பேசிக்கிறேன், அதை எல்லாத்தையும் அவமானத்தை தாண்டி நாங்கள் வாழ்ந்துகிட்டு இருக்கோம்னா எங்களை மீறிய போர்க்குணம் யாருக்குமே இருக்காது. ஒன்று, ஆணுக்கான வீரமும் பெண்ணுக்கான ஈரமும் இருக்கிற ஒரே இனம் திருநங்கை தான். சிவசக்தியோட பாதி நாங்க. எங்களையே வம்புக்கு இருக்கிறீங்க. அந்த வாய்ப்புக்கு அந்த எதிர்ப்பு குரலை கொடுக்கணும்னு தான் இங்க வந்து அவருடைய உண்மையான சொரூபத்தை பார்த்து நான் மயங்கியிருக்கேன். இப்போ நான் மட்டும் மயங்கியிருக்கேன், என்ன இஷ்டப்பட்டவங்க மயங்கிக்கோங்க. ஆனால் நிச்சயமாக ஒவ்வொரு விஷயத்திற்கும் இந்த பாரதி கண்ணம்மா மற்றவங்களை நான் பணிக்க மாட்டேன். அவங்கள இஷ்டப்பட்டு வந்தால் நான் ஏற்றுக்கொள்கிறேன். நிச்சயமா அவருக்கு வலது கையாகவும் இடதுபுறமாகவும் நான் நினைப்பேன். முடிஞ்சா வந்து தடுத்து பாருங்க. நிச்சயமா கொடுக்க போறேன். ஏன்னா இது அதிகாரப்பூர்வமான தகவல். நேற்று கலெக்டரேட்டுக்கு நான்
She doesn't speak for anybody else, but she's speaking for herself here, as that she has experienced the compassion, the grace of Swamiji, the healing of Swamiji, and she will stand come what may. Nobody can stop her from standing as a strong support for Swamiji. She does not say you have to believe him, you have to follow him, but if you really come and see, you will know for yourself. She has visited our Adinam multiple times and has been benefited immensely, and clearly says as a personal testimony, as a first-hand testimony, I will say, and she supports and completely denies all the allegations that have been put against Swamiji. Let us continue to watch.
வேற விஷயமா போயிருந்தேன். பெண்கள் அமைப்புக்காக பட்டா ஒதுக்கீடு வேணும் கீழே போனப்போ அங்க ஒரு நபர், அவர் ஒரு தலைவர்னு சொல்லிக்கிறாங்க. ஏன்னா அவர் பேரை குறிப்பிடவில்லை. என்ன பயம் இல்லை, அது அதிகாரப்பூர்வமா அச்சில ஏறட்டும். சொல்லியிருக்காருங்கிறது உண்மை எனக்கு தெரியும். அவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு அரவாணிகள் ஆட்சி படத்திற்கு வரக்கூடாதுன்னா, ஏன் அதே காலத்துல மாலிக் கபூர் முகலாய தமிழகத்தையே முற்றுகை போராட்டம் நடத்தி அத்தனை கொள்ளையடிச்சிட்டு போனானே, அப்ப அவன் வீரன், இப்ப நாங்க அழியலாம் இல்லையா? இது முக்கியமான கேள்வி. நாங்க என்ன கருவறையில இருந்தா நமக்கு எங்களை வெளியெடுத்தாங்க, இல்ல மலக்குவியலையோ சவக்கடங்களையா எங்களை எடுத்தாங்க? நாங்களும் 10 மாதம் கருவறை காத்து தாயின் முளைப்பால் இருந்து தான் இந்த உலகத்துக்கு உழவ விட. தயவு செஞ்சு எங்களை வாழ விடுங்க. அவங்கவுங்க வயிற்று பாட்டுக்கு நாங்க வாழ்ந்துகிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். நாங்க அதையும் மீறி வெளியே வந்துட்டோம்னா எங்களை விட ஆட்சி வேற யாரும் இருக்க கூடாது. இது சவாலா சொல்றேன். அது மட்டும் இல்ல, ஒரு சில பெண்களுக்கு மட்டும், ஒரு சில ஆண்களுக்கு மட்டும்தான் ஆணுக்கான ஈரமும் பெண்ணுக்கான வீரம்.
Through this platform that has been given to her by Swamiji, through this press meet, Bharati Kannamma is voicing out her protest against discrimination against the marginalized communities, against the transgender community, saying that all of them also have the equal right. They have all been born from the same mother's womb, have come into this planet the same way as all of us, and they all have the right to live and the right to live in the society, not be discriminated in any way. And Swamiji, sitting through this whole press meet, giving her this opportunity, clearly voices the support of Sri Kailasa for such marginalized communities. Let us continue to watch it.
இருக்குது சாரி, பெண்ணுக்கான ஈரமும் அவங்க தான் இப்ப நிறைய பேர் ஆட்சி பீடத்தில் இருக்காங்க. நான் யாரும் அரசியலுக்கு அப்பால் பட்டவள். பெண்கள் நாடாள இல்லையா? அது மாதிரி தான் நாங்க எந்த கட்சிக்கும் சம்பந்தப்பட்டவர்கள் அல்ல. இருப்பினும் வன்மைக்கும் ஒரு தவறான செய்திகளுக்கு நாங்கள் குரல் கொடுப்போம். வேற ஏதாவது கேள்வி கேளுங்க. ஐயா மடக்குனீங்களே, இது மாதிரி என்னையும் கேட்கலாமே. அவர் எதுவும் படம் கொடுத்தாரு, அவங்களை வந்து சேருங்க. இதுதானே உங்களுடைய நிறைய விஷயமா இருக்கும். ஏன்னா ஆத்மார்த்தமான குமுறல். நேற்று கேள்விப்பட்டதும் அவ்வளவு கோபம் வந்தது. நைட்டே சன்னிதானத்தை வந்து சந்திச்சிடணும். ஏன் எங்களுக்கு இந்த எங்களை மாதிரி பார்த்து அவரையும் அப்படி பார்க்குறீங்க? ஆனா ஆமா, ஒரு இக்கட்டான சூழ்நிலை எங்கெங்கே புராணத்திலும் இதிகாசத்தில் ஏற்படும் போது கடவுள் அங்கே பெண் வேடம் போடுவது உண்டு இல்லையா? அப்ப அவங்க மட்டும் மோகினி அவதாரங்கள், நாங்க மட்டும் அலி அவதாரமா? பிரச்சனை இல்லை. எங்கெங்கே இப்ப மகாபாரதத்தில் எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா இப்ப கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, கூத்தாண்டவர் கோயில்ல அரவான் வந்து தன் உயிரை பலி கொடுக்கும் போது உனக்கு என்னப்பா கடைசி ஆசைன்னு கேட்டாரு. நாளைக்கு சாக போறேன், எனக்கு தாம்பத்திய உறவே தெரியல, எனக்கு அந்த ஆசையா இருக்குன்னாரு. உடனே யார் கொடுப்பா நாளைக்கு சாக போறவங்களுக்கு? உடனே கிருஷ்ண பகவான் தன்னை பெண்ணா அவதரிச்சு கல்யாணம் பெண்ணா கொண்டு அன்னைக்கு இருந்தாரு. அவர் மோகினி அவதாரம் எடுத்தாரு. அது சரித்திரம் கொண்டாடு. மகாபாரத போதில் இமாலய வெற்றி. இந்த ஒரு பெண்ணாக திருப்பி நிலைக்கு போன ஒரு ஆண்னால இவ்வளவு பெரிய விஷயம் நடக்குது. அப்ப நாங்கள் ஆணாக பிறந்து பெண்ணாக திருப்பி நிலைக்கு போனால் எங்களுக்கு அவமானமா? யார் சொல்லி தந்தது? சோ அதை மட்டும் தயவு செஞ்சு பத்திரிகையாளர்களையும் சொல்லிடுறேன், உங்களை வேண்டி விரும்பி கேட்டுக்கிறேன். தயவு செஞ்சு நாங்க பாட்டுக்க சிவனே இருந்துகிட்டு இருக்கோம், எங்களை சீண்டி பார்க்க வேண்டாம். அதற்காக குரல் கொடுக்க மட்டுமே இங்க வந்தேன். நான் அதை வன்மையாக கண்டிக்க. எங்களுக்கு வீக்கெண்ட்ங்கிற ஒரு அமைப்பு இருக்குது. கிட்டத்தட்ட 20 மாவட்டங்கள்ல அந்த தொண்டு நிறுவனங்கள், திருநங்கையை கொண்ட தொண்டு நிறுவனங்கள் இருக்குது. அவங்க கிட்ட தலைவீட்டை இன்னைக்கு ஜீவாங்கிட்ட தொடர்பு கேட்டேன். அவங்க வந்து திருநங்கைகளுக்கு எதிராக எந்த இது இருந்தாலும் நிச்சயமா நம்ம முன்னாடி இருந்து குரல் கொடுப்போம் சொன்னாங்க. ஆனா ஆதீனத்துக்கு ஆதரவு கொடுக்குமா இல்லையா அதை பத்தி பேச வேண்டாம். அது அவர் விருப்பத்தை பொறுத்தது, யாரையும் கம்பல் பண்ண வேண்டாம். ஆனால் பாரதி கண்ணம்மா அறக்கட்டளையின் ஒரு 10,000 பொதுமக்களுக்கு சொந்தமான அந்த அறக்கட்டளையின் தலைவியான நான் ஆதீனத்துக்கு ஆதரவு தெரிவிக்கிறேன். மற்றவங்களை பத்தி எனக்கு கவலை இல்லை, மற்றவங்களே கேட்டுக்கிறேன். உங்களோட விருப்பம் அது தனிப்பட்ட விருப்பம். சரியா? வேற எதுவும் கேட்கணும் விருப்பம்?
Yes. Bharati Kannamma beautifully quotes various examples of the Hindu Purana where at various instances the cosmic superconsciousness, whether it's Mahavishnu or Paramashivoham, at various instances take the form of the feminine form. For example, when Vishnu takes the form of Mohini to play his divine leelas, when the Sanatana Hindu Dharma is a civilization, is a tradition that respects these gods, then why not them? And even then she says, yes, transgender, the marginalized communities are being discriminated, but what is there in Nithyananda, in the ashram, in the Madurai Adinam, that people are making such vulgar, false allegations? She says her blood was boiling when she heard about the kind of allegation that is being put against Swamiji and about the activities that he is running in the Madurai Adinam. She immediately, that night itself, wanted to come and meet Swamiji and the 292nd Sannidhanam and voice her support. And today, she comes and addresses the open press meet of her support. Again, she says that it's her personal experience that she completely has been benefited and she completely knows that Swamiji is right. She sincerely requests everybody to come and see for themselves and build their own opinion and benefit themselves. But she very clearly, again, reiterates, establishes, and voices her support for Swamiji. We don't need anybody else. We have, of course, had our own brahmacharis, brahmacharinis, and the devotees who have come and spoken for themselves, spoken in protest. But along with that, Bharati Kannamma's voice adds a very, very valuable support to Swamiji when Swamiji is facing so many false allegations, so many false cases. Bharati Kannamma has indeed come out and helped the public to really see the truth, to really face the truth and understand what is the real service that Swamiji is doing. So, having faced so much persecution, so much attack, Swamiji continues to shower his compassion, his grace to all of us. His compassion is something unfathomable that we have seen Paramashiva manifesting in various different forms, performing different leelas, through which he demonstrates and radiates nothing but just pure compassion. Let us take this time to indulge ourselves in the Leela Dhyana, remembering the divine Leelas, the plays of the divine, especially of Bhagavan Sundareshwara, who is known to have played numerous Leelas in the very land of Madurai. We know, of course, the 64 Leelas, which is actually 63 divine plays, and the 64th representing the unsaid, unrecorded, untold Leelas, where a number of times Sundareshwara has come down, taken the physical body to play these Leelas. Before we get into the Leela, I would just like to explain how, in Swamiji's own words, Swamiji explains what a Leela is, what is a divine play. It is not really great if you're a PhD student and you're doing your PhD, you're doing your studies. It is not a great thing also if you're just a first standard student and you're trying to, learn your first standard level studies. But what is Alila is that PhD graduate coming down, sitting with the first standard student, teaching the child his first standard syllabus. That is Paramashiva himself producing his frequency, coming down to the human frequency to relate to all of us, to teach us in the language that we understand, to relate to us in a form that we can understand and see and perceive. And through that, take us to the higher and higher possibilities, higher consciousness, and experience oneness with him, himself, ultimately. So one of the many leelas of Sundareshwara is when Paramashiva in the form of Sundareshwara comes in the human form of the most charming, handsome, beautiful form of Sundareshwara to marry Devi Meenakshi. So I would like to narrate this story. When Sundareshwara comes down as the most charming person, the Sundareshwara, the very name is glorifying his beauty, unmatched, unparalleled beauty, just by seeing whom you have a divine experience. And so Sundareshwara comes down to marry Devi Meenakshi. All the Meenakshi and her family has arranged for the marriage in the most grand way. And Sundareshwara comes with all his ganas also. His ganas are his own guardians, his extensions who live with him in Sri Kailasa. So Sundareshwara has come down. All his ganas have come down. That's the bridegroom and his side. And Meenakshi and her family, the whole kingdom is ready to welcome him and is all set up for the marriage. And the marriage goes on in the most grand, divine way. And Meenakshi and her family seems to be a little too proud, a little too feeling proud about the way they have arranged for the whole marriage. So Sundareshwara plays this small leela here. He has his very sweet, innocent Gana called Gundodara. Okay, Gundodara is his Gana who holds the umbrella for him on his head. And yes, you can see the picture. If you're familiar with any Indian language, you will know that the very word Gundodara conveys a lot. His very form, the huge belly, huge form, can tell us that he should be, if I can think, a foodie can really, really enjoys eating, filling his stomach. That's the beauty of Paramashiva. All his ganas, you can be anybody in any form, in any way, you're accepted by Paramashiva. And this Gana, Gundodara, has been holding the umbrella over Sundareshwara's head and is standing. And Sundareshwara senses that Devi Meenakshi is having this feeling of feeling proud about how she's arranged for her marriage. So Sundareshwara tells Gundodara, okay, you take rest, you leave the umbrella for some time, why don't you go have a break, go eat something? The marriage feast is there. Sure, why not? Meenakshi orders her assistants, orders her attendants to go attend to Gundodara, to feed him and make sure that he is fed well. In the Hindu tradition, we always ensure that anybody whom we serve is not just fed, but we ensure that they feel full, they are fulfilled with their needs. So, similarly, Meenakshi instructs her attendant to make sure that Gundodara is full, is fulfilled, is satisfied with the meal. Gundodara sits and starts. He starts eating. He eats all the starters, the main course, the dessert, everything. All the food in the city of Madurai is cooked and served to Gundodara, and Gundodara continues to eat, continues to ask for more and more food. He says, this is just my starter, where is the rest of my food? All the resources, all the grain of Madurai is extinguished, is completely finished just to feed Gundodara, and Gundodara is still hungry. And then Gundodara comes to Sundareshwara and Meenakshi and saying, I don't have any more food, I'm still hungry, what should I do? And Sundareshwara asks Devi Meenakshi to just feed Gundodara. And when he eats from the hand of Devi Meenakshi, immediately he says, yes, now I'm fulfilled. The story does not end here. Now his meal is finished, he needs to drink water. So again, all the attendants, all the citizens of Madurai, bring him water in big barrels to quench his thirst. Like we have almost now predicted, starts drinking up all the water, but his thirst is not quenched. He drinks up every pond, every river, every pot of water that is available in Madurai is emptied, and we don't know where it's going, but Gundodara is just finishing all the water in the city, in the whole empire of Madurai. By now, for sure, Devi Meenakshi's pride has of course come down. She goes and please request Sundareshwara, please do something. We don't have any more water, let alone to feed Gundodara, to feed anybody in the city anymore. Sundareshwara here, so casually, tells Gundodara, okay, now you need water. Just place your hand in the spot and you'll get the water. And so Gundodara does that. He just places his hand on one spot from where Ganga herself manifests as a whole river flowing with more than enough water for everybody, for in the city and for Gundodara himself. And that river is known as the Vaigai. In Tamil, the word Vaigai means just place the hand. And just by placing his hand, Sundareshwara manifests the whole river, not just to feed, not just to quench Gundodara's thirst, but also to quench the thirst and ensure that for years to come, until now, that Madurai flourishes with the waters of Vaigai. And this is one of the beautiful leelas that Sundareshwara plays. We can very clearly connect this leela in the life of His Divine Holiness, Supreme Pontiff Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, our beloved Swamiji, where we know how Swamiji built the whole city of Adi Kailasa from nothing. It was just barren land. And there was no way that we could have had enough water in that land to support hundreds and thousands of sannyasis, visitors, devotees, visiting the ashram. There was no way that we could find enough water for that. If you speak to any of the construction leads, any of the Adinavasis who have been a part of the construction team, who have been trying to drill a borewell in the Adi Kailasa, you will just see how they explain. They would go up, request Swamiji for blessing. Swamiji, in those memorable, valuable days when he used to spend in Adi Kailasa, used to walk across the land of Birdi, across Adi Kailasa, the Adinam, along with his walking stick, and would casually point at a place and say, yes, drill the borewell here. And you would not believe how many other times you would have tried in the past, drilling the borewell, no water would have come. But just exactly at the spot where Swamiji himself points, when we drill, exactly, Swamiji will even mention the distance that we have to drill. When they drill the borewell, immediately we would find more than enough water to support all of us in Adi Kailasa. So literally, Swamiji, Paramashiva himself, of course, manifesting through as embodied as Swamiji, His Divine Holiness. Of course, just on his command, Ganga would flow wherever he would say. And this is just one of the small experiences that all of us have been witness to, where Swamiji not only gives us the ultimate experience of enlightenment, but supports us with every small thing, even for us to get water for our daily needs. Going on, the Leelas continue. There are, of course, many, but I would like to continue to one more Leela connected to this river of Vaigai. So one day, after all this is finished, one day, the river Vaigai is flooding. So this is after the rule of Sundareshwara and Meenakshi. We have the Pandya king who is now ruling over Madurai, and Vaigai is flooded. So the Pandya king instructs all the citizens of Madurai to come and take part in building an embankment for the river Vaigai. So you're going to build an embankment so we can protect the city from getting flooded. We can protect and avoid flooding by the river Vaigai. So each citizen is supposed to bring mud and put it along the banks of Madurai and build an embankment to avoid the flooding. One devotee, old devotee of Meenakshi and Sundareshwara, is by the name Vandi, whom we all very fondly call Vandi Party, which means grandmother Vandi. She's so old and frail, and for her living, she makes the puttu or pittu, which is literally like powdered idli. If you know idli, which is one of the staple diet in South India, powdered idli is one of the uh, common dishes that is made in Madurai, even today. So she makes the pittu for her living and she sells it for her living. And she hears about this command from the king that each citizen is supposed to take up a part and do their part in building the embankment. She is just barely able to manage making the pit and sustaining herself. She definitely wouldn't be able to build the embankment herself. But she knows it's the king's orders. So all she does, every citizen in the Madurai knows that any problem, the only thing they have to do is think of Sundareshwara. And so Vandi, out of a deep devotion to Sundareshwara, just prays to him saying that you only have to really come and help me. You know that I cannot do it myself. Oh Sundareshwara, please come and bless me. Do something, make some miracle happen so that I don't have to face the wrath of the king. And just for that, just to enjoy that devotion of Vandi, I know we've all already guessed, yes, Sundareshwara comes down physically. He comes down in the physical form of a young boy. And this young boy comes, the old lady, said, okay, see, you look very old. I've also heard about the king's orders. I think let me help you build your embankment. Vandi is very happy. She feels that this boy is being sent by Sundareshwara himself, not knowing that it is Sundareshwara himself, and says, yes, sure. And this boy says, only thing, I will work for only 2 jamas. I will build the embankment, but you have to feed me the puttu, feed me the idli until my stomach is full, until how much ever I ask. Sure. Vandi agrees to that. And so first, Sundareshwara, in the form of this young boy, sits down to have his meal. And Vandi gives him his pittu. He eats it, he enjoys it, and says, okay, it is wonderful, get me more. Vandi makes more. And Sundareshwara nicely enjoys it, eats every bit of it, relishing it, keeps asking for more and more. Vandi, of course, has promised that she is going to feed him until he is fulfilled. So she continues to cook the pittu again and again and feeding Sundareshwara. It has gone on for so long now that Sundareshwara has eaten too much now. He says, okay, fine, now it's enough. And now I'm fulfilled. So Vandi is like, okay, at least now he's going to work, let's see. And Sundareshwara ties a cloth on his head, the turban on his head, and goes to bed. Nicely lies down on one corner while everybody else in the city is building their share of the embankment. So naturally, in a few hours, the ministers of the king come and start monitoring, inquiring, going on grounds, checking whether everybody has done their part. And when they reach Vandi's part, the embankment has not yet been built. So naturally, they went and questioned Vandi. And Vandi pointed at this boy, saying that he is volunteered to do this for me. I cannot do it myself. He's supposed to do it. And when they go and find this boy, what is he doing? Nicely resting, sleeping, not bothered about not at all building, not at all doing his job. So the ministers go and wake him up and ask him as to why he's not doing it. And Sundareshwara doesn't even bother that they're ministers, they're the king. Of course, he is Paramashiva himself, and he's playing his Leela playfully, ignoring them, agitating them. And the ministers are now enraged. This boy is neither doing his job, nor he's getting up, nor he's respecting. And the king enters the scene. So now, questioned by the king himself, the king Pandya king himself comes and questions this young boy as to why he's not doing his part. And this young boy is totally indifferent, saying, you don't know me. And he doesn't even respect that the king himself has come. And as and when the king is getting more and more agitated, the king takes his whip and lashes the boy, who is Sundareshwara himself. At that exact moment, everybody in the city of Madurai, Vandi, the ministers, and the very king himself feels that lash on their own backs. Sundareshwara, through this playful Leela, gave the very experience of the ultimate oneness, showing everybody that he is the Antaryami, the one residing in everybody, the ultimate super consciousness. He doesn't get enraged, he doesn't give back, or he doesn't curse the king. No. He only gives him the experience of who Sundareshwara really is. He only gives him the experience of the ultimate oneness and blesses Vandi with the ultimate enlightenment. There is so many dimensions of Sundareshwara that we can understand from the story. One, that he just comes down just through the feeling connection, through the devotion, through the simple connection and asking Sundareshwara to come down. And he literally comes down in physical form for that. He enjoys the love of and the pity of Vandi, and in turn blesses her with the ultimate fulfillment. And even when the king did not recognize him, he only gave him the experience of who he is and the experience of oneness, and immediately then the king realizes his mistake, realizes who Sundareshwara is, falls at his feet flat, requesting him to forgive him, and Sundareshwara, out of his immense compassion, forgives the king and gives him the experience, blessings, and grace. The story does not stop here. Swamiji beautifully gives us a deeper insight to the story, where Swamiji says that at the end of the day, you will see that Sundareshwara did end up building the embankment. But the truth to the real problem, attending to the source. The cloth that I mentioned that Sundareshwara wraps around his head and falls to bed is actually known as a semmar, and which is the cloth that he's tied around his head. And Sundareshwara tells, when the ministers are waking him up as to what are you doing, why are you not doing your job? Sundareshwara responds that you do not know, I'm already doing my job. I'm already attending to the source. Ganga, the very source of Vaigai, is residing on the head of Paramashiva, and Sundareshwara hence is tying his head, covering his head and sleeping so that he can stop the source of the flood. So though it may seem like through his playful Leela, Sundareshwara is just playing around, and he didn't do his job of building the embankment, but not just building the embankment, Sundareshwara is already attending to the source of the problem, which is the source of Ganga itself. We should understand here that similarly, our binary logic needn't always understand how and when Swamiji is addressing the real problem, how he is really coming up and giving us the real solution. In this time of Corona, if Swamiji is asking us, if he is really insisting on sitting, manifesting the powers and the being of Paramashiva, that is the real solution, that is really addressing the source. It is okay if your logic is not convinced. Just with that understanding, if you have ever been to any program of Swamiji, if you have ever heard his discourse, if you have ever received healing from any of his disciples, initiated devotees, or if you ever feel that yes, there is some possibility, there's something that I can learn here, go ahead just with that. Register yourself for the program. You will see how much it benefits you, and you will see how much truth there is in what Swamiji is saying. Yesterday in Satsang, Swamiji beautifully addressed this very cognition that even if you are not completely convinced, your binary logic is not completely convinced, it is okay. Just hold on to that biscuit, which is that if Swamiji says there should be some reality in it, there should be some truth in it, and with that courage, jump in. I would like all of us to listen from Swamiji himself in the video where he explains about Sundareshwara and what is the reality of the story. Though it seems to all of us that Sundareshwar only came and played his Leela and went back. He was actually, through this whole time, addressing the source of the issue. Let us hear from Swamiji himself in this short video clip where he explains how Sundareshwara was actually addressing the source of the problem.
Understand? When Shiva assumed the body and married Meenakshi and ruled this Pandya kingdom, he became Sundara Pandya. That action became an independent energy of Sundara Pandya. Just yesterday, I was reading the Akashic records in the night. I verified again and again. Earlier when I was seeing, I felt he has taken 3 bodies. Yesterday I saw he has taken more than 11 bodies. Only to play in and around Madurai. Please understand, in this way, no other geographical place is equivalent to Madurai. Where Shiva has taken 11 bodies to play just in Madurai. See, in one body he has played in many places. That record is there. When he assumed one body, he has gone to many places and did his leelas. In one body, doing leelas in 11 places, there are enough records. But 11 bodies to do leelas in one place, only in Madurai's history, the record is there. More than 11 bodies he has assumed at different times to play the leelas. The leela he performed, the first body he assumed to perform the leelas in Madurai is marrying Meenakshi. To marry Meenakshi and all the leelas related to that time, marrying Meenakshi and bringing Vaigai to Madurai, all those leelas were performed in one body. That body is directly under the Sundareshwara's linga. In the main Garbha Mandir, under the Sundareshwara linga, that body is resting. It is there in Jiva Samadhi. And second, he has assumed one more body to build embankment for Vaigai river and converting all the foxes into horse to save his disciple Manikyavasagar. All those leelas, around 40 years he was in that body and performed many leelas. That body is resting in our property near Dinamani Takis. There is a place in Madurai, near Dinamani Takis, there is a Samadhi. Inside Madurai Adinam property, it is called Sundaranar Samadhi. And Sundarananda's Jiva Samadhi, people used to think it is one of the 18 Siddhas. It is not one of the, of course, it is one in the 18, but Shiva himself assumed the human body and performed. 40 years he was in that body. That body is resting in Madurai. The place, Dinamani Takis, opposite to that Takis, there is a property, belongs to Madurai Adinam property. There he is resting. And the third body, which he assumed to give sugar cane to stone elephant and stolen elephant ate that sugar cane. For that Leela, he assumed one more body that is there inside the temple under the samadhi of, under the shrine of Ellamalla Sittar. Under his murti, that third body is there. Still, I am not able to trace the other places of the remaining 8 bodies. I could see cosmically where are they, but in the Madurai map I am not able to pinpoint where the remaining 8 bodies are. Soon I will study the Madurai map and overlap my cosmic map on Madurai map and give you guys the exact points where the bodies he assumed are resting and radiating. I tell you, if you see from this angle, no other place, even in Kailash, is only one body is resting. There are 1 lakh enlightened beings' bodies are resting. That is different. But his own, the body which he used, only one body is resting. In Varanasi, 2 bodies are resting. Even in Thiruvannamalai, only one body, Arunagiri Yogeshwara's body, only is resting. I was shocked when I read yesterday the Akashic records. 11 bodies he has assumed. I tell you, Madurai was his honeymoon place. It was his favorite. Somehow, Madurai people had a very close, hearty connection with Mahadeva. Even for small things, he will assume a body. Come here and play. This was the place where he was very playful and joyful, without any of the so-called social laws, regulations, rules, and the dharma which he himself created. Here, he has broken the laws he created as per the planets. He has changed the planets for Madurai people. He has changed the teachings for Madurai people. He has changed the social laws for Madurai people. He has broken all the moral rules for Madurai people.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham